Okay. Hello. I don't know why I'm doing the funny voice. Whew, I'm tired. But I'm a little tired. How's everyone doing today? Did I line up the camera? It's kind of lined up. What do we got? We're on YouTube, right? So YouTube overlay, turn off Twitch chat, punch in, turn off Twitch chat, turn on YouTube overlay. There we go. External, there is no external overhead. I think overhead's good. Desktop. That's good alert. Twitch chat. No, not YouTube overlay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Whew. We're back. It is insane how, there we go. Do that. The rainbow. Taste the rainbow. What does a rainbow taste like? What does a rainbow taste like? When Trident R2, you know what? Tomorrow is the video when the Trident R2 comes out. The actual release of the Trident R2 itself, I don't know exactly when. It is not my wheelhouse when to say the actual release will be released. But in regards to when the Trident R2 will come out, if you are a channel member or Patreon supporter, or you find my Twitch channel and you give me a Twitch sub on there, and link it with the Discord, the video that I did with Steve will be public tomorrow, but early today. So if you are a member of the Only Benchy Yacht Club, a channel supporter, Patreon supporter, YouTube member, Twitch sub, and you link it all with the Discord, you can go watch it. The Trident video is out early for channel supporters. As for when the actual public release of the printer itself will be, soon. But not like Voron soon, like actually soon. In fact, so soon, we're going to be tearing down my Trident today in preparation of rebuilding it as an R2, and I will probably start printing parts this week because the parts are, at least I've been told, internally locked. So the parts are kind of internally done. They're done. Also, Cascade is done. Voron Cascade is done. Remember that CNC that I've showed off at 2 Rep Fests that Doug was working on, 120 decibel. Cascade is done. I do have a video on this. It'll come out over the next couple weeks. But Cascade is done. So if you want to build a Voron CNC, there you go, Cascade. There you go. You want to build Voron Cascade? There you go. Start building a Voron CNC. We have a CNC now. We clocked the CNC at 30 miles an hour. CNC, you have a CNC? We have a CNC now. And also, Phoenix is feature complete. Phoenix is mechanically done as well. That will be later in the year. It still requires the whole manual. Trident manual is mostly done last I checked. But I won't be able to, obviously, I'm not going to release anything. I can't release on anything. That's not my job. And I can't speak on to when the exact release date of Trident R2 will be. But since my voice is kind of shot, I'm exhausted, and we're probably not going to do a full stream today because I have to go cut my lawn after this. Today we're just going to have a little post Rocky Mountain chill stream. We'll talk about the event itself, and we'll tear down a Trident. Because, let me go grab it here. We have to destroy something to make it. We have to rebuild it. And in order to rebuild it, we must destroy it. Oh my god, I forgot how heavy this thing is. Oh shit, will this even fit on this table? I don't even know if this will fit on this table. Oh no. Get these stupid things off. The whole thing's got to be reprinted anyways, so why not? Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I, Gandalf? Hopefully this fits on here. I have no idea if this fits on here. I am exhausted. I don't know what happened on my way back, but I am exhausted. So, this is my Trident. This is the Seaboard Trident. I'm taking all these panel clips and throwing them in the garbage because they are garbage. We are rebuilding this. Actually, I should probably keep these just in case I want to use them on something else. They're still good. They're still good. I'll just put them in a box. Let me find a box. Is this a box? I need a box. I need a box. I need a box. Box. Box, box, box. Box? Bag. That's a bag of maker chips. I need a box. Box, box, box. Good old polymaker box. Good old polymaker box. There we go. Andrew, $10. Cheers for the have the neighborhood kid mow the lawn. I don't have any neighborhood kids. Where I live is like, it's all boomer retired folks. Majority of my neighbors are like retired, or their kids are like old and moved out, or they're like really little. So I don't really have kids that I can Shanghai into doing this stuff. The LDO kits are hopefully summertime at some point. That's what we're working on for assumptions, is summertime at some point. I won't be able to reuse the doors, so those can get yeeted, unfortunately. I need a little thing to put all my screws in. I'm gonna need a little cup. Do I have a cup? You know what? You know what will work really good for this, for storing all my screws? Gloop container. We're gonna reuse a gloop container. That'll do. Let's squat it down. So this Trident will work really good for index because this is a 350 Trident. This is a 350 by 350 by 250 Trident. So this will work really good for index because we're gonna be able to just load this up with tools. The original idea was to put the tools across the back, which Heart K actually has a mod for that. Heart K, I will pull it up here in a second, has featured a mod, or designed a mod, that puts all the tool heads back here along this back part. And that's what I was originally gonna do, because I have so much room for activities back there. But after seeing Steve's Trident in person with the tools in the front and seeing how clean it is with the tools in the front, I think we're gonna go that route. Plus I can fit more tools. I think the tools along the back might work better for a V2, but you're still gonna lose tools. You're not gonna be able to put as many tools. Also, I don't know if that mod will be compatible with Trident R2. So I figure, you know what, in my opinion, I think it makes more sense to put a index on a Trident than a V2. Wow, I got no breath today. Holy shit. You would think my breath would be back. This is why I'm not doing a long stream today. My voice is shot from the event over the weekend. You'd think coming down from Denver, the mile-high city, where the air is thin and the grass is green and the birds are pretty or something, I don't know. You would think, you know, I'd be swimming in oxygen, but I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I will need a top hat. Yes, I will need to put a top hat on this. This will need a top hat. I think this printed part is broken. Yeah, that printed part is broken. Let's get rid of this. Let's get this out. Let's get this out. Oh, that filament is ancient. I don't know when the last time this printer printed, and there's no point trying to save anything off of it because the whole thing is depreciated. Everything on this is depreciated. Rain Motorsports, I think you need more top hat. Yes, I will need more. Gergman, $5. Cheers and appreciate it. Index tools on a Trident 350 N+1. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So this is the bin of stuff I'm saving. So yeah, so what are we doing today? Well, today's stream is going to be just kind of a hangout stream. Today's stream is firmly a hangout stream. We're just going to yap about Rocky Mountain Rep Fest. The post, usually after I come back from an event, we usually do a stream that's just a mulligan stream where we just kind of hang out, talk about the event, go over some pictures. I'm horrible at taking pictures, so I don't have a lot. I think if anyone has a link to a photo bucket account or anything that has all the pictures, I think there's one, but the guy who's the official photographer, I don't know if he has put his pictures up yet. Ooh, Andy Miller, cheers for the 5 gifted community memberships. Speaking of that, cheers Andy for reminding me. If you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, first scroll down, like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. But while you're down there, liking the smash button, make sure you enter. Every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament. Link in the video description for that. Enter for your chance to win. We'll be doing the draw at the end of stream, probably around 4 o'clock, maybe a little bit sooner, maybe a little bit later, Eastern time. So about 2 hours from now. Yeah. Also, shout out to Bondtech. Bondtech was a sponsor of all my coverage from Rocky Mountain Rep Fest 2026. So any videos that come out from there will have a little bumper in it just thanking Bondtech. I don't have an affiliate link with Bondtech because I don't think they actually do affiliate. They don't have an affiliate program, but you should still check them out. Great folks. I spent a lot of time chatting with the Bondtech folks. Martin, the owner of the company, Olaf and Kata. They are great folks. They are great folks. The whole Bondtech team, awesome people. I was lucky enough they flew me out last year to check them out. They are a great team. So I just want to give another shout out to Bondtech. Great folks to work with. Is it just COVID or just a conference gold? I might have the con cough. I probably have the con cough. Pictures will be ready by weekend. Okay, yeah, because let me see here. I think somebody put the link to it. Yeah, David Wheeler. Is it David Wheeler? Dave Wheeler? Let me see here. 3DP. Yeah, he doesn't have the photos for yeah, Rocky Mountain Printopia. Yeah, so we don't have the photos yet for there. But if anyone has any photo bucket accounts or any photos they want to share, join the Discord. If you're not on the Discord, join the Discord. Let me get out of the Voron Discord so I don't leak anything. If you haven't joined the Discord, go join the Discord. Link in the video description, or actually I don't think it's there because of bots, but join the Discord. Also a reminder, this Friday is the Look What I Printed stream. So every month we do a stream where we feature what people in the community have been working on. I want everyone in chat right now to post something that they've been working on or they printed in the last month or something they haven't shown at all yet. Go post it in this channel. But if you have any pictures from Printopia, share it in the Canuck Creator live stream chat and we'll take a look at it during the stream itself. And hey, if you're a channel member or Patreon supporter, up in here is tomorrow's video early, which you can get at if you're a channel member or Patreon supporter. So, yeah. I came across 2 boxes of HO Flex Track. Andrew Rogers, I don't think I'll be going to Murph. When is it this year anyways? I don't think I'll be going to Murph. Just because of timing and availability and a bunch of other things. Yeah, it's in June. I don't think I'll be able to go this year. I didn't go last year. I got a lot going on this summer with some stuff with the family and whatnot. We're doing some stuff, family stuff. Also, Murph, if I go, there won't be much to do content on, unfortunately, just because of the nature of the event nowadays. It's more of a hangout event. So it's just, I don't know. If I can find a sponsor, maybe I'll go. But it's, especially after this event, which, you know, I got 6 or 7 videos you guys are getting. We'll see. I might go, but no guarantees. If you are in the area, you should go just to hang out. But from the content creator side of things, it's kind of hard to justify nowadays. Just because companies really don't go like they used to. So it's more of a creator hangout event, which is still pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, nothing against it. It's just harder to justify to go as a content creator, video maker type thing. So I don't know how far we're stripping this down, if I'm stripping it right down to a bare frame, or if I might leave the skirts on, but the whole thing's getting reprinted. Actually, I got to rip it right apart. The whole thing's getting reprinted. This will no longer be Big Papa Joey P. The Prusa colors are going away, simply for the fact that since it's going to be a Trident, and it's going to have an index on it, I'm going to print it in IKEA colors. So it's going to be blue and yellow. So we're going to print it in IKEA colors. And I apologize to anyone from Sweden for butchering your beautiful language with my horrible accent. But it will be in IKEA colors. So we're going to do main blue, accent yellow. Yeah, ship it to me. I'll let you know, Andrew. I don't know yet, because we might have some stuff local I might be able to get my hands on, but I will let you know. Minion colors. Not Minion colors, it is IKEA colors. It would be IKEA colors, because it is Swedish. And I'll put a bunch of fish in it. Oh my god, I gotta clean this frame. The insulation for the panels was gummy. So it's all sticky inside the frame. I don't like it. I don't like it. Still sad I couldn't go to Rapid. Yeah, Rapid's pretty cool. I like it because you see a lot of industry stuff, which is pretty cool and crazy and whatnot. But just with Rapid being the week before Rocky Mountain, it just was too much. It was just too much. It was just too much. I would have to, basically, I didn't want to leave my wife alone with the little guy for a week, an entire week, because I would have to take the whole week off before, and then the weekend after. So it would be like Monday to Monday, and that would be too much. So. The IKEA colors and about Ukraine. I mean, I've done a printer specifically in Ukraine colors. If anyone wants to complain about Ukraine colors, let me know in chat. I'll ban them from the channel, because if you support the people that are against Ukraine, I don't want you here. So I will straight up ban you. And I am proud to, and I'm perfectly happy and proud to admit that. So, yeah. But it is going to be IKEA colors because it is Sweden. Yeah. I think the Swedish yellow and blue are darker than Ukrainian yellow and blue, I think. Does anyone know the hex code for IKEA yellow and blue? If anyone knows the hex code for IKEA yellow and blue, let me know and we'll figure it out. I'll try and dig through my stores of inventory of filament and see if I have any that are exact hex code for IKEA yellow and blue. I bought an LDO Trident kit and printed all my parts in 3D Tech ASA. White for primary, red for accent. I just learned PIF won't do white parts due to weakness. Should I reconsider? Well, here's the thing. Who is that? Kaden Shimmers. I probably mispronounced her name. If you're building a Trident R2 is going to be coming out in the near future. And like, if you build a Trident, it's not like, oh my god, your Trident's now horrible because it's not an R2. R2 is more, the only actual like better thing for like you may want to do, you get a much shorter belt path. It's like a 53mm shorter belt path. So you have shorter belts. You'll be able to tension your belts better and get better input shaping. The front idlers tension a lot better, and it's a bit easier for belt routing. But namely, like the big thing is if you ever plan on doing a index or any other tool changing system and you need to be able to move the bed back so you don't lose room in the front, you're going to want to do R2. So luckily, hardware wise, it isn't much of a difference hardware going from R1 to R2. A couple extra screws, a couple different screws, a couple extra bearings. You need M5 heat sets. It's not really a big hardware difference between the two. Official IKEA hex codes. Okay, I will dig, and I'll be honest, I'll probably just end up using, like, I think I have a bunch of like LBO, ABS, blue and yellow. I'll just use that. With the fact I never color correct any of my footage and live stream stuff, I don't think I need to worry about being exactly hex code, but I'll dig through what I have. Oh, and large shaft motors long shaft motors are supported. So if you want to support your AB motors with double shear, it is now supported by default. You don't need to do a mod or anything anymore. I'm losing my breath. Holy shit. Also, buy some gamer subs. They sent me a new care package with some new flavors. I haven't tried this yet. This is the BBL flavor. I think it's blueberry lemon or blueberry lime. Blueberry lemon, I think. Ooh, that's refreshing. That's good. So yeah, check out gamer subs. Link below. Save some money. I think you can get 10% off. So. Will the inverted electronics will work? And not only will they work, it'll pretty much be supported by default if you want to go that route. Personally, I'm not a fan of inverted electronics. I like my electronics at the bottom because it helps lower the center of the gravity of the printer, makes it a bit more stable. And also, I'm not really having to get at my electronics that often once the printer is up and built. But if you do want to go that route, for whatever personal reason, design reason, whatever, you will be able to do inverted electronics by default with the new setup with R2. There's a whole video on it. It'll be public tomorrow. And the actual, or early today, or already today if you're a channel supporter. Inverted, if anything. Well, inverted electronics actually is the opposite of what you think. The stock setup for electronics is below deck. Inverted electronics put your electronics on top. So lower center of gravity is more stable. But there are many reasons why you would want to put the electronics on top. People in chat can answer that. But if you do want to do that route, you can now. And it is supported without having to deal with mods for motor mounts and shit. Because the motors mount differently in R2. Like actually, shoot, I don't... are they on my server? They are on my server. One second here. I will give you a little tease here. Network, tower, Neuro 3D. Where are my folders? There they are. Import. I hate Windows. I hate having to use Windows after using Linux on my main desktop. View. Large icons. There we go. Okay. So you're probably familiar with the belt pathing now, the current belt pathing in AB motor mounts. This is the belt pathing in R2 Trident. So in R2 Trident, also, these are grant friendly. We actually designed in belt guides. So when you run your new belts, they actually, here, let me pull up the other photo. You can see the belt guides are built into the printed part. So your extrusion comes right up against this. So when you push your belt in, it just goes that way. It just goes that way. Same with this. It goes in. Remember, your extrusion is going to be here. So it just comes in. It'll hook around the bearing. It'll come out this way. And then you grab it and you feed it in. And it'll hook around this. So the actual new belt pathing is this. So the belt comes in, goes around this bearing. So you're going to see why we need extra bearings, because instead of on the idler side just having a bearing here where it just goes around and comes across, now it comes in and comes across there. So belt pathing is shorter. We have these nice big open holes here for running wires, and also like a Bowden tube or whatever else you want to run through here. You might be able to even print a adapter to run your CPAP through here by splitting it through a printed duct, but nobody's really tried that yet. I'm sure once this gets out there, people will start having all kinds of fun with it with mods. And then the belts go around this for that. So this is the new belting. For R2, okay? Shit, I never put that joke in the video because I don't think we actually talked about it in the video itself. For V2, for people wanting, hey, you know, some stuff from Trident R2 will be ported over to the V2 series, okay? There's a problem though. This is where your, see this wonderful bearing stack that exists here? This is where your Z belt goes. This is exactly where your Z belt goes. So unless somebody figures out how to superposition a double stack of F695 bearings and a GT2 belt so that they occupy the same space at the same time, because I don't think turning on developer mode and doing /no clip will work. Now what you could do is you can move from belt drive to capstan drive, use hollow pins, and run your wire through the center there. So Trident was the primary develop. Normally, for those that don't know, normally it's V2 gets stuff developed and then they get ported over to Trident. In this case, it's like Trident's taken priority because you can kind of actually do more with Trident because of the fixed gantry. And with systems like Index, it works a bit better on the fixed gantry. Now, you can do Index on a V2. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Bondtech has a V2 with Trident or with Index. The problem is, you know, have to deal with all the cable management in the X, Y, and Z, which can be a pain. So it kind of makes sense to work on the simpler, more adaptable platform first. And that's the route we went. So, plus it's Steve. Trident is Steve's baby. And he's like, I'm working on R2 Trident. And it's like, okay. And he did. And now we have it. Soon for the public. Now we're thinking with portals. Yeah, we just need a portal. I mean, if you can use portals, you're going to save a lot of belt length because you can just portal it on the return back, right? So yeah, you have your feed that drives the thing, but then you just have the one that rides back, so you can just use a portal and skip that. Ha! There we go. I have no idea if the camera keeps focusing on me or not, but there we go. Okay, save that. I need the camera. Okay, so now I got to start taking apart this gantry. One time, let's take the tool head off. Let's take the tool head off. So, no, I want to pop out chat. Pop out chat. Okay. Copy. Paste. Go. Restore chat. Pop you out here and put you against here. There we go. Now I can see both. Now I can see both. There we go. Okay. How much does the portal weigh? Yes and no. Yes and no. Let me just check the Discord here, see if anyone's posting anything. Here we go. Oh, do we have? Oh, those are the IKEA colors. I love how there's the IKEA colors. I love how that's a thing. And then also, like, the front idlers are new. The front idlers are all new. I'm not in the Discord. Okay, good. I need to make sure I don't have the Voron Discord opened up when I do this. Yeah, the front idlers are new as well. And I think the front idlers, let me pull the thingamabob here. Let me pull this out. Because I want to show you, we also have for the front idlers as well. They're a lot smoother in operation. And then also they have a little rounded bit here as well, or this is from the front. So when you run the belt in, it'll hit this and it'll hook around and out, and then you can run it back. So the front idlers as well are a lot easier. And also the sliding part of it rides on an M3 screw that's in a, that has a PTFE housing around it, like a piece of PTFE. You use 3mm ID PTFE, so it moves nice and smoothly. Instead of printed plastic on printed plastic, you have printed plastic on PTFE, and it moves a lot smoother, and it prevents it from cocking too. So it allows it to be more rigid and less floppy. Less floppy. We don't want the floppy. When will the? I don't know exactly when the files will drop. That is entirely up to Steve. So I can't give you a timetable, but put it this way, I'm going to be printing parts this week. So we will be printing parts this week, or I will be. They're that far along in development. Like, the CAD is done. the files are exported. The STLs are exported, and I believe the manual is mostly done as well. In fact, it like might be done and just need tweaking. I don't want to fully comment on it because I don't know exactly the full state. But very soon, like legit soon. Like definitely, I don't even want to say like definitely before date because it's soon. So the image doesn't show the two. It doesn't show it because it's sliced in half. You can't show a 3D model split in the middle and show stuff above and below it, but it is in there. I mean, we had stickers. Here, let me find the stickers. Let me find where I put the stickers. I know I have stickers. Let me find the stickers. Put that there. Where did I put the stickers? Like if you came to the event, I don't know if hopefully the mic still picks me up. Yeah. Like if you came to the event, if you're at thing, we actually have stickers at the booth. Trident R2. Not Voron soon, actually soon. So we had these at the table at Rocky Mountain. So actually soon, not Voron soon. I haven't taken apart a stock tap in a while. Also, it's going to be nice on the index if you do plan on running index. The tool head for index has a load cell in it, so you don't need to worry about using like, you can if you want, like you can use like a cartographer or a beacon, so you can do like fast bed meshing, but the actual tool head itself has a load cell in it. So when we turn this into an index system, we will be using that because it's already in there and it's easy and it works really good. And you can use it for, you're going to want to use it anyways for offsetting all the different tool heads through a calibration macro. So, okay, that comes off. So we don't need, I am losing so many screws. I'm getting screwed by all these screws I'm losing. Thursday night, did Steve say Thursday night probably? Well, put it this way, tomorrow the video that I filmed with Steve will be coming out. And then Saturday, for channel members, or no, I might put it out Saturday. But this weekend will be my index video that I filmed with Bondtech. So, can be used for X to Y. It can detect X and Y on the nozzle itself, so it can be used for calibrating, if I remember correctly. So I don't know exactly when this build series, when the Trident R2 build series will start, but it will be the moment the files are public, we start building an R2 Trident. Put it that way. The moment the files are public, we start building an R2 Trident. Except for the days that we try to finish my Stealth Changer. Because I know if I don't finish Stealth Changer before I finish Trident with Index, yeah. Also, if for whatever reason, if we finish the Trident before, remember, we will be building the Trident for Index. So if Index isn't, if I don't have the kit yet for Index, before we finish Trident for whatever reason, we'll just pause the build. Because we kind of need Index to put a tool head on this thing. So. My screws are loose. All the screws are loose. We're taking this printer apart. I'm going to have to see if I have extrusions for a 350 top hat. I might have to talk to Jason and get a 350 top hat. Also, if all goes well, we should be building a baby belt as well and getting some monolith CNC parts. So, okay, that's garbage. Try to save all the screws as I take this apart. I already have screws all over the floor I'm walking on. I can feel them. I can feel it in me bones. Take the rail off. Hopefully I don't lose all me balls. This printer is covered in dog hair, by the way. It has been sitting. This printer has been sitting in the hallway outside of this room for a couple months now. Because I've known all this was in the works, and it's like, I haven't needed this printer, so I started taking parts off for other stuff. And yeah, it's been in the works. And it's just been like waiting on it. So it's like one day. Do I have snippers? Can I just pull this out, or is it, oh, these belts are wedged in there. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, can I get this back on without breaking or losing me balls? I don't want to lose my balls. No, I'm losing my balls! Okay, you know what? We're just going to put this here for now, and I will deal with that in the future. Okay. Come on, belt. Grace. Okay. Now we drop this. This is the printer I was looking at. The printer I was looking at for the DLL PDF bed, which they make this really nice high temp capable bed, is going to be Toasty Boy, which is a 250. So I need a 250 bed. This is a 350. This bed is fine. The bed is probably the only thing on here electronic that is from Physik that I still trust. So, and that's because I don't think Physik made it. Does it say Physik on it? No, it doesn't say anything. I mean, it's kind of hard to screw up a bed. You'd be surprised, but it's kind of hard to mess up a bed. What benefit would a Trident R2 with index have over a U1? The amount of tools. U1 is only 4 tools, and size. The U1 is only 250, I believe. So if you want a bigger tool changer than 250, or you want a tool changer with more than 4 tools, index. Putting an index on a Trident would make sense. Even at 250, you could fit 6 tools for sure, and potentially 7, depending. It would be a tight 7. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Do you think the belts were rubbing on this? Do you think the belts were rubbing on this guy? I think the belts were rubbing. Okay, let's get this bed off, because this bed is heavy. So let's remove the bed off this printer. Let's see here. Take that out. Why would you need that many? Because you can do, multicolor is one of those things that the moment you don't have to deal with the time penalty and the waste associated with using a multi-material system, you can get crazy with it. Like, I don't know if I have a picture of it, because I'm horrible at taking pictures at events. This. So, this was at the Bondtech booth. So, this was, oh my god, I think it was 1,500 tool changes. And this was a 17-hour print. Okay? So the moment you have a tool changer and a swap goes down to seconds instead of minutes with no waste, going crazy with multicolor prints, having a lot of colors becomes more viable. So, also, you could just be lazy and just load up all the colors you have and not have to actually go to the printer to change the filament out. It's actually kind of nice. how many on a 350. Don't quote me. I will say 8 guaranteed, potentially 9, depending on your setup, maybe even 10. I don't know. Let me pull it up here. I don't know if they have, what is the spacing requirement? Because I do believe the tool head on the Index did get a little bit wider from its initial version to the final version, but that's because the final version has clip-on ducts, so you can do different mountings for ducts. You can use fan ducts, you can print your own ducts, and you can use CPAP for fans. So I don't know what the required spacing is. Also, they'll do the tool head, the nozzles are CHT and they're hardened, and they will do about 40 millimeters cubed a second. They were telling me with some filaments they were able to get bursts up to 70 millimeters cubed of flow out of them, but that's like a burst. 40 is like the max reliable, like consistent. Is it 40 millimeters? Okay, so basically you have the distance there, but then also you have to make sure that your tool head reaches. So obviously like the 20 millimeters and 20 millimeters. So 20 millimeters tool, 40 millimeters tool, 40 millimeters tool. It actually might be 43 millimeters. For some reason I have 43 millimeters in my head right now. It might actually be 43 millimeters you need now. I don't know for sure. Steve's driving right now with a trailer full of Vorons. So if you're between Salt Lake City and San Francisco, closer to the San Francisco side, if you see him drive by on the road, ask him. But I want to say 43. Also, all-wheel drive, you probably also will take a penalty to, if you're doing all-wheel drive, you're going to have more meat here. But like, if you look here on here, look, excuse me, I'm doing the YouTube face. You can see how much thinner the front idlers are. So you have your thin front idler, which is it's inspired by Hart K's the Hart K's design for the single screw front idler, kind of like the beefy idlers, like the thinner ones. So essentially, what you have to do is you need a piece of 15-15 extrusion, however long it is between these two, and then it mounts to that. So this will fit 7. But it's a little snug, and you might rub on the tool head, which might scuff it a little bit, like just cosmetically, because it's rubbing. Because the way they lock and unlock the tools changed from the early version to now. They have like a little push pin on the front instead of the side. So everything kind of changed a little bit. Little tweaks here and there through all the variants. So yeah, like see these little red things? That's a plunger with a magnet. That's what's used for activating the lock-unlock mechanism inside of it via magnet. So that's kind of how that works now. So this is out. Let's take this apart. I don't think I have zip ties, so I gotta be careful not to lose this. Do you think Voron builds will get super popular now that Core XY Purusas aren't really buildable? You know what? Part of me, like, if you want to, so for some reason, a lot of people think for whatever reason that like the only way to get Index is on a Prusa. Prusa is their official commercial partner for Index on an off-the-shelf printer. That's it. So if you want to buy a printer with Index, you have to buy a Prusa. But if you want to build a printer with an Index, you could put it on anything. You could put it on anything. They had a turret system with it. One group had a turret that basically swung like a turret would on a CNC machine to select Index tools. So I kind of have a feeling because of, unfortunately, thanks to wonderful modern economics and tariffs and shipping and all that bullshit, putting an Index system on a Trident is actually more cost effective than buying a Prusa. Then buying a Prusa Core 1 and putting index on it costs more than buying a Trident and putting a Core 1 index on it. Although I do believe the 250 Trident, the 250 Core 1 will fit 8 tools, and the 250 Trident will fit 7 at most. So I think you do get an extra tool with the Core 1, but the moment you build a 300 or a 350, yeah. I can't remember. I can't remember if the Prusa one is 8 or 7 tools. I can't remember. I should know that, but I can't remember. Yeah. Also, I guess it kind of worked out that I have titanium backers on this frame, which is actually kind of nice for this. And they are kind of a bluish and yellow. So that already works. So I guess we kind of lucked out there. Let me find some zip ties or tape. Tape will do. I don't want to lose my carriage here. You know, these rails are Physek. They're still rails. 8? Okay, 8. I have a Trident 250 and a Prusa Core 1. Please help you decide. Honestly, my personal opinion, the Trident. Put the index on the Trident. I'm leaving my Core 1s alone because I want them to be single tool workhorse machines. Because I will be using my Core 1s more for just mass production of printer parts. I've been using my Core 1s to print parts for builds. That's what we're going to be printing the Trident parts on. Just because I have 3 of them. I have 2 Core 1s and a Core 1L. And they all basically print the same. So it works really good for my use case where it's like, okay, I have the 2 Core 1s loaded with the main color printing parts. And then I have the Core 1L with the accent color printing parts. And I can knock out an entire Voron's worth of parts in like 2 days. So it works really good for that. So I'm not going to be putting this kind of system on my Core 1. Also, it wouldn't fit on the shelf where I have my Core 1s. It wouldn't fit on the shelf where I have my Core 1s. This will go out in the garage and probably go, I don't know where I'm going to put it, but it's going to go in the garage because it's going to print ABS. So it's got to go in the garage. Okay, so that is one rail off the printer. So now, gotta take these off. I'm hoping I can leave these extrusions on. I don't think I need to move these extrusions off the frame, but I do have to take like this shit off. So a 315 should fit 8. Yeah, that's what I said. A 250 should fit 6 comfortably, potentially 7. A 300 will fit 7 comfortably, potentially 8. And a 350 should fit 8 comfortably, potentially 9. Simply for the fact that with DIY kits, there's always a bit of wiggle room. Stuff is sometimes a millimeter here, a millimeter there, depending on, you know, the guy cutting the extrusions that day, your printed parts, your specs, your spacing, the way you build it. With DIY printers, especially Vorons, I find like their millimeters just kind of appear and disappear sometimes with DIY builds. You have a little bit of, they're not as consistent as like, you know, a Prusa Core 1 or a Bamboo X1. Like everything, there's a little bit of variance because, you know, you get kits from different places. You know, this rail, this extrusion right here is supposed to be 400 millimeters. On some kits, it's 401. As long as they're all 401, it's good. As long as they're consistent, it's fine. If you cut your own extrusions, maybe they're all 405. Maybe they're 395. Who knows, right? There's always a little bit of wiggle room. Like, for example, in a Voron, on a 250, your rail's 300 millimeters long. Your carriage is 40 millimeters long. You have 260 millimeters of travel, and the bed's only 250. So you have 10 millimeters of over travel in certain directions, but you never actually get that 10 millimeters. Usually it's like 8 millimeters or sometimes 6, and I've seen 11. There's variance to DIY builds. It is what it is. Did I say what the coolest thing? I'm asking you. The whole point was asking you guys what the coolest thing you saw was. What else is cool is this Gamer Subs BBL. It's delicious. Blueberry lime. Blueberry lemon? Blueberry lemon. Good. But I'm going to be biased towards Vorons. For those asking, oh, do you put it on a Core 1 or a Voron? I'm going to be biased towards Voron. How's the stealth feature going? We're not going to... We might work on it Friday a little bit, but Friday is the community stream. So what we'll probably end up doing Friday, I'm hoping that the picture album of Rocky Mountain Pictures will be out. So it'll be a community Friday. The last, for those that don't know, if you're new to the channel or you just forgot, the last Friday of the month is a community stream where we look at stuff people in the community have been working on over the past month. So we'll be doing that on Friday. I need to put all these bearings separate. I don't know if this bearing will fit. I gotta figure that out. I might have to find different Gates bearings for this. I gotta look. I need a small container for bearings. Small container for bearings. Small container for bearings. What do I have? What do I have? Oh, ooh, my knees. Ow, my knees. I'm falling apart. Falling apart. Small container for bearings. What do I have? I've got a bunch of stuff in here. Holy shit. This is what I get for cleaning up. Oh, there we go. That'll do. That will do. I mean, this is bigger than the other container, but this will work for bearings. And it's filled with dog hair. So let's not use that, actually. Why is everything filled with dog hair? Oh, that's why. I have a dog. Why do I have so many of those? You know what? I'm just going to put them over here for now. I'll just put them in here. Put them in here for now. Put the bearings over here. There we go. All the printed parts are going in the garbage, by the way, for those wondering. Really like the neck extruder on the Core. Yeah, that's the other thing too. The neck extruder on the Core 1s is a very nice extruder. So I don't want to lose that. Put your answer. The skill testing, the question in the forum for winning the filament, you don't have, it's not a right, yes or no, it's not a right or wrong answer. It's just everyone puts an answer. So if somebody comes, if I get an email in a week from now going, hey, I won filament on your giveaway. My name is so-and-so. I gave you the wrong email address. Can you email me the code? I can go, okay, what did you put for your answer? And I can verify that you are who you say you are. Because I've had people try and scam free spools of filament from Polymaker doing that. And yeah, it's annoying. So I put a question that there's enough variation in answer that I can kind of verify who's answering. I want the high temp neck extruder. The neck extruder isn't high temp or low temp. The neck extruder is an extruder. You're thinking of the hot end. Extruders push filament. Hot ends melt filament. That's rather pathetic. Dude, it's the internet. It's the internet. It's the internet. Welcome to the internet. People are dicks. Also, the front idlers on the R2 are much narrower. Like they're not as fat on the Y. So you only have one screw mounts down, one screw mounts forward. So that's nice. You actually did a typo in your email. Well, what usually happens if that happens, what I've started doing, I fill out the form and I send the email before I actually end the stream, because I have had that happen before where I send the email and it bounces back like, oh, this isn't a valid email address. So I have time to go, hey, Bob, you effed up, DM me and we'll figure it out. So yeah. If we want to Trident R2, should we buy a discounted R1 kit now? I would. The price delta in parts, you need a couple extra F695 bearings. A couple extra F695 bearings for the extra stack. So like go on Amazon, buy a pack of F695 bearings. You need some M540 button head screws for the XY joints, because right now they use socket head. We use button heads on R2. And M5 heat sets. And then maybe a couple other random amounts of screws. But like if you've already built a Voron before, you probably have it on hand. And then obviously different printed parts. So, like, put it this way, outside of like, I might buy the fancy Gates idlers, the Gates tooth idlers. Outside of that, I have everything I need, except for, you know, printing the parts. I think I have M5 heat sets from the Milo build left over, so I should be okay. I should be okay. If not, go buy some from Stefan at CNC Kitchen, because he sells them. So. Oh yeah, these. How do I get? Oh, there's a screw in there. That's why. I'm like, why don't this come out? Because there's a screw. Oh, long shaft steppers are optional. If you want to reuse your steppers, you can. Let me check my drawer of steppers. So, you know, do I have long shaft? I might not have long shaft. I might hit up Jason too and be like, hey, Jason, you want to send me some long shaft? But yeah, if you have like long shaft steppers you want to use instead, you can, but they're not required. So if you want to switch to long shaft, you can for the double shear. But if you want to just reuse what you already have, you can just reuse what you already have. So if you want to save a little bit, you can. It's up to you. It's up to you. They're not required, but they are nice to have because you can put a little bit more tension on your belts without worrying about them breaking. Or without bending over your shaft. What length M5 heat sets? I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know off the top of my head. Probably like, I don't know, whatever the common size ones are. I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately, so I can't give you an answer on that. Wow, all the belts rubbed. All the belts rubbed on this. Yucky. Is there a bomb? It's not public yet. The GitHub hasn't been updated yet, but it will be. It will be soon. Soon. But I don't have that information on hand for immediate. I mean, I don't think it says there. And that's not the bill of material. How far is the manual done anyways? Oh, the manual's like done. The manual's like done. Totally not looking at the manual right now, guys. I'm totally not. No. I'm just trying to find the heat sets for you guys, so you guys know which ones. For those that are impatient and are willing to take the bomb. I don't think there's a bomb yet. I don't think we have the official bomb yet. That's why. Just M5. It just says M5 heat sets. Yeah, I don't have the official heat set specs. I put it in an ask. If I can find it out, I'll let you know, but no guarantees. I'm saying bong because if I say bomb, YouTube will ban me. No, I'm saying bomb. Bomb. Bill of materials. Bomb, not bomb. Bomb? Bomb. It's bomb? Bomb. Bomb? Bomb. Bong. Ba-da-ba-da-da. What did it say? People are asking what size M5 heat sets. Oh, it's funny, the manual just says M5 heat sets. It doesn't actually say specifically which ones. It's just M5 heat sets. I will let you know if I figure it out. M5 by 7 OD, 6 long. M5, 7mm OD, 6 long. So M5 heat sets, 7mm OD, 6mm length. There's your heat sets. So for, you know, example, if you were to ask me which size heat sets we would need, and I were to randomly open up this page on CNC Kitchen's website, I could see these totally perhaps being the M5s you need. Perhaps I may accidentally also copy and paste it into chat, but I think these are, you know, 5.8 millimeters, whatever. I think these are the ones you need. And I think I have some. I gotta check. Because I have a bunch of heat sets. So I gotta check my my little inventory of heat sets and see what I have. If not, I'm literally gonna take a file to the ones I have, because you don't need a lot, I don't think. Basically, anywhere where there was an M5 hex nut in the existing design is now an M5. If you take the parts from R1 and then you take the parts R2, and the R2, wherever you would normally use like an M5 hex nut, it's now an M5 heat set instead. We don't use M5 hex nuts, we use M5 heat sets now, because they just work a lot better and are more consistent and reliable, and they're easier for tightening too. Like, they're more consistent if you don't have to, like, you don't want to over tighten them. It's like 2 or 4. I would get a whole pack of them. I would just get a whole pack of them, because guaranteed, if we're using them on Trident R2, we're probably using them in other stuff in the future, right? So if you know, the mythical V2.5 ever comes out, instead of, you know, we do something stupid, I call it M2 or V2.4 R4 or whatever, we might just to F with people and just never come out with a V2.5. It'll probably use that as well. So the skirts are unchanged. See this? Stuart, you're a channel member. You could watch the video that explains all this. Stuart, you are a channel member. You could watch the video that me and Steve go over the whole thing. Skirts are unchanged. Frame is unchanged. Skirts unchanged. Any tool head you're already using still works. R2. R2 is just XYZ. So literally, except for the motor mounts, Nothing under the bed changes. You don't even have to replace your skirts. Like I think everything stays. So. But it'll be really nice because see on, let's see if I can slide this without breaking shit. Oh, don't go on an adventure. Okay, so see here how on this motor mount, this is the slot where you put your belt, your cables and everything through. On R2, it's now back here because the belts go on an angle. So this where this bearing stack is open. So you can like run belts or run wires and shit through the back. So on R2, you have this big open area right here. So instead of the wires running like through here, they run through back here. So, where can you buy a kit? I don't know yet. It's not much of a difference between R1 and R2. It's like if you buy an R1, if you already have an R1 kit, or you built an R1, it's like a $20 Amazon order on new stuff. It's not much. It's not much. Also, we are switching over to a DIY version of the swing arm. We are switching over to a swing arm style I'm pretty sure R2, we're dropping drag trains completely, going to a swing arm and umbilical. There is a DIY umbilical solution that we are working on. It's working pretty good. So that will probably be, that might be the last thing that we're still playing with. Will it be a 2.4 R3? In the future, the problem is designing a V2 and then backporting that to Trident is relatively easy. Designing for Trident and then backporting to R2 is actually harder because we need to figure out where the belts go. Because a lot of stuff on R2 Trident has stuff in critical areas where the belt, or has critical stuff where the Z belts would go. So we're gonna have to, people that are smarter than me at CAD are working on it. But no timetable at all. Like no timetable at all for that. It's just kind of like brainstorming right now. Car wash swing arm. You want to know how it actually works? I don't think I have any pictures of it. But essentially, it sounds really silly, but it works really good. You just use your drag chain, and you only use half of it. So you basically have a couple pieces of drag chain. Here, let me do it in the front here so you can see. You basically have a couple pieces of drag chain, like maybe like this much, mounted to the top of the frame here, and you run your cables. The hole in the back, your back panel, you're gonna have to mod. The back panel hole is gonna be here now, because everything's gonna come in here, and it just kind of goes whoop, whoop, whoop. So you have a little bit of drag chain to like support it, and then the rest is just freeballing, and then you just put a little hook like how the Prusa has on the top of the thing for the Bowden tube, and then you zip tie your stuff to that. It actually works really good. It actually works surprisingly good. And it's using stuff you already have. Or you can just go buy the Prusa swing arm and use that. And I'm sure companies will sell, you know, a stamped sheet metal version of it as well in the future. But so. Oh, look. Some guy completely copied CNC Kitchen's thing and is selling it for $25. Somebody copied CNC Kitchen's little fuzzy skin thing. Rahul Parihar here has copied CNC Kitchen's thing and is selling it for $25. Hi, welcome to the future of vibe coding. If you try to design things like this to sell, you're effed. Because if you vibe coded it, anyone else can vibe code it too. This is so annoying. I hate this. The whole thing with everyone vibe coding everything now, if you can vibe code something, anyone can vibe code something. So that means you can't sell anything you vibe code because somebody can just kind of look at your idea and copy it one-to-one. Because you can just go to frickin' Opus or Claude Opus and go, hey, here's the design docs for exactly what I want because somebody already did it. Make me a version of this. Vibecode use an AI to code it. A lot of the new AI LLMs are really good at coding, so much so that you could just tell it to make a program and it will write the software for a program. Ooh, new framework. 20 hours of battery life, damn. $13 Pro. How much is this? Probably too much. I am in line. There are 66,000 people in line. Never mind. CNC aluminum. Linux first. 20 hours of battery. What's the specs? What's the specs? Intel Ultra series, which is apparently pretty good. The new Intel Ultra I've heard is pretty good. Power efficient memory. Ooh, you can, oh wow, you can actually upgrade the memory in these ones. So USB-C, yeah, those are all the options. Repairable. So I could just buy this board and drop it in my existing framework. That's the cool thing about. Nice screen though. The screen's nicer than what I have. Haptic touchpad. So yeah, it is all new. Nice. I want to know the price though. How much is the price? What is the price? Because I have a framework 13, but I want to know how much is it? Specs. Starting at $11.99. Oh shit, that ain't bad. So there's your options there. 20-hour battery is really nice. This is going to be chasing all the Mac fanboys. That is nice. That is nice. I like my framework 13. I'm happy with my framework 13 for what I'm using it for. But yeah. What Linux? I use, so my main desktop, I run Cascade OS. My laptop, I put Bazite on it after I got it, and I've been running Bazite on it. It's been fine. I might switch it over to Cascade just so it's the same as my desktop. But considering I use my laptop maybe like a total of 48 hours a year, I'm fine with what I have. What I would actually like is something smaller. Like, put it this way, if you don't know Doc on the Voron team, he has a 11-inch iPad Pro with the keyboard attached to it. That is such a nice, clean, compact package for a travel laptop. It's got an M4 in it. Like it's one of the first 11-inch Pros. But it's got an M4 in it, M4 chip in it, 12 gigs of RAM, whatever. It's got built-in cellular, so he has internet everywhere. It's like 11 inches, so the whole thing's like this big. It's got an actual keyboard, because it's got the little portfolio keyboard. It is really, really nice. Except that Apple's like, F you, iPad OS, so you can't run any of the full features app. If you want to use DaVinci Resolve, you got to use the shitty iPad version of DaVinci. You can't use the full version of DaVinci. You know the hardware is exactly the same as a freaking MacBook. You can't run MacBook apps on it. You have to run the shitty iPad apps on. And until Apple gets rid of that stupid artificial barrier, I will not consider ever buying one. Because I'm not going to buy a laptop hardware device to run freaking phone apps. So, and because the iPad or the MacBook Neo is a thing, we know that is a completely artificial limitation now. So, or, you know, just unlock it and let us put freaking Linux on it. Linux did the Neo. The Neo is the A18. The Neo is literally running iPhone reject chips. Like literally chips that passed validation for iPhones. I think they were missing a GPU, like one of the GPU cores is faulty. And so the Apple has just shown us that the entire Apple Silicon line can run Mac OS, but they artificially limit it to like the complete, like, nope, these ones only run iPad and these ones only run Mac OS. They artificially bifurcate their line like that. Your iPad Pro? No, they won't. That's the thing. It's an iPad Pro with a full M4 chip in it. but it's limited to Mac or iPad OS. You know, the hardware is exactly the same as the MacBook. It can't run MacBook apps. It has to run iPad apps only. I don't know. Tim Apple doesn't work there anymore, so maybe they'll change it finally. The screen is nice for watching content. Yeah, the bigger screen is nice, but guess what? When I'm on a plane and the thing is this far away from me, I don't really care. I just want something that is smaller so it doesn't take up as much room in my bag. And takes up less room sitting on a table or whatever when I'm like eating at an airport or flying on a plane. Because I don't really use my framework on a plane, because the last time I used it on a plane, the person in front of me put their seat back and almost broke my screen in half. So I don't like pulling out my laptop on a plane just in case somebody in front of me folds their seat back. It is actually really scary. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this middle one out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this middle one out or no, I can leave it in. I just gotta reprint the parts. So, Rocky Mountain, congrats on the team for the release of Cascade and well, yeah. Cheers. To be fair, I had nothing to do with those developments, but thank you. That's what I want. Yeah, those tablets are nice. Like, I've seen some of those really nice Android tablets. But again, same issue with like, I want to be, I have a full DaVinci Resolve license. I have a DaVinci Resolve Studio license. I can install it on 2 devices. Let me do it. It would be really nice if I could edit videos on the go. I was going to edit videos, but the fact that like I record everything at an event, and I want to use DaVinci's AI voice isolation, and I can't run DaVinci Resolve Studio on my laptop because it doesn't have a dedicated GPU. Because I run Linux. If I was running Windows, I could, but I'm running Linux. And I hate Windows. So I put up with it and just wait till I get home to edit. Yep, we're in the basement. It's cold in the garage today, so I'm out here. Also, this printer was already downstairs. Don't forget, we are giving away the spools of Polymaker filament at the end of stream. If you haven't entered for your chance to win that, link in the video description. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. Best way to support the channel. Because remember, you get videos early if you're a channel member. And tomorrow's video on the Trident R2 with Steve Builds is available right now if you're a channel supporter. So if you don't want to wait till tomorrow to watch that video, you can watch it today if you're a supporter. Or you're lucky and somebody gives you a membership between now and the end of the stream. It's 27 in Colorado. I know, it's actually warmer in Colorado than it is here right now. But I'm also in Canada, eh? So I bought an iPhone. I have a Pixel 9a and I like it. I got no problems with it. Actually, you know a good example? The only reason I would actually get an iPhone, I think it's a video on his channel. Bocabola did a video. I don't know if he did a video on, I don't know if it's on LTT or on Boca's channel. Elijah, if you don't know who that is. He bought a iPhone specifically because he went to an event and a lot of people were like sharing details using like the iPhone tap and whatever. iPhone makes more sense as a content creator because of the way the ecosystem is with the Apple, and it ties in better with like sharing details and like the apps work better. But I'm not that kind of content creator, so it's not as effective to me because we just Discord everyone. Marcel gifted 10 community memberships. Cheers and appreciated. Awesome possum. There you go. So 10 people get to watch tomorrow's video early. But you can only do that if you like the smash button on the video and you leave a comment. You got to leave a comment on the video, letting me know what you think. Was on LTT? I think it was on LTT. Yeah. The phones are heavier. I mean, first thing I do when I got a Pixel, first thing I do is I put it in an OtterBox. So this This is why I put my phone in a thing. Let me see the iPhone people knock screws out of a 3D printer by banging their iPhone against an aluminum extrusion frame. Oh, because they don't put it in a case because they want to show off the fact it's an iPhone. Bro, OtterBox. Phone don't care. See, still works. Function over form. Function over form. Losing the ability to confront a problem. Oh, I know. I know. I have to teach my son how to type. Because he's only used to touch. He uses the keyboard a little bit, but not a lot. Your iPhone's in an OtterBox. You're a good person. OtterBox works best on iPhone. I'm not saying... Yeah. First thing you do is put your phone in it. It's a $1,000 thing that you're holding with your hands all the time. Protect that shit. It just, everyone I personally know that has an iPhone either refuses to put it in a case because they want to show off they have an iPhone, or they put it in those really, really crappy clear cases that don't do anything. Don't want your phone to be big and bulky. I want OtterBoxes, or I want people to bring back the BlackBerry form factor. I want a 2.5-inch screen and a keyboard on my phone. I thought the ADXL mounted to the nozzle was one. Yeah, E3D had that too. They have an ADXL that is basically mounted inside of a dummy Revo nozzle. So the best results for input shaper is measuring at the nozzle itself. So mounting an ADXL to, there is a PCB that you unscrew the nozzle and you mount it, you sandwich it between the hot end and the nozzle. That gets you really, really close, but it's still not the nozzle. E3D sells a Revo that has an accelerometer built into it. Like the nozzle itself has an accelerometer built in. Saw you at Rocky Mountain, had an ear friction. Oh, that sucks. I was really dry. I found it extremely dry at the event and the hotel. And then while we were leaving, my phone got an alert for a fire warning because it was so dry. And I'm like, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so I think this can come out now. Oh wow, this motor mount is cracked. No wonder why this printer was printing kind of dookie. All the parts are cracked. And the belts were rubbing everywhere. There is so much belt dust in this printer. Holy heck. Damn, Fizek, your shit don't line up too good, does it? Well, yeah, somebody was telling me like there's only like 17% snowpack this year too, which is insane. Okay, so I'm gonna try. I might reuse these motors, but I'm gonna reach out to LDO, Jason, and see what they have in their parts bin and see what we can work with. Look at all that dust. Look at all that belt dust in this thing. Right in the garbage. Right in the garbage. Oh, also, for those that are into that sort of thing, starting tomorrow on Twitch, we are doing a full Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough with mods. I have every couple of years, it used to be every year, but every couple of years I get a hankering to play Mass Effect and do a full playthrough of the entire series. I mean, it's like 70, 80 hours total. Over the 3 games, the way I play it. We're going to be streaming it. So, I'm going to be streaming it. So, if you are into that, starting tomorrow in the morning, because that's the only time I have free for this sort of thing, we will be streaming and doing a full playthrough of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition series. So, because it's funny, I love the Mass Effect series. I love the lore. I love the universe. It's great. It's kind of like how I love Star Wars as a setting, but I don't like the shit they're doing with Mass Effect, or with Star Wars now in terms of stories, except for like Andor. So, Mass Effect, I love the games and the world. So, I want to be able to nerd out about it while playing it. So, I figure I'm going to stream it. So, if you're into that, twitch.tv/Nero3D. And also, if you do sub to the Twitch channel with you use Jeff Bezos to pay it by linking your Amazon and your Twitch account, you do get all the benefits of being a channel member on the YouTube as well. It's one combined thing. So Nero3D on Twitch if you're into that. So I gotta take this one out now too. Bioshock's good. I wish they finished Andromeda. I know, it's kind of sad that it died in development hell and never got around to actually finishing the game and releasing it. So, from what I've heard, like, the actual, if you were to go buy Andromeda now, it's not a bad game if you get it on sale for like 10, 15 bucks or whatever. I mean, the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect, you were able to get it on sale during the last Steam sale for like $5 for the entire series. Like, that's like the best price for amount of game ever. Except for like when I bought Minecraft for like $4.99 when it was in alpha back in the day. But the Andromeda is not a bad game. It's just a bad Mass Effect game. Is like what I've heard people say about it nowadays. It's not a bad game. It's actually, apparently the actual gameplay loop, like combat, is actually pretty good. It's just the story's kind of meh. It's not up to the level of a Mass Effect game, 1 to 3. And it kind of sucks because it ends on a to be continued. So, from my understanding, that's what like people's thoughts are on it nowadays, now that it's been like a decade. God, it's been like a decade. Mass Effect 1 is 19 years old. Monolith is a bit similar. What do you mean Monolith? Like, compared to Trident R2? Not really. Maybe in the front idler, maybe. But that's about it. Okay, so that's that. Okay. So, we can leave these on, but I need to put some tape on them so I don't lose them. I feel old. You and me both, kid. You and me both. Actually, you know what? We're going to use these, because I don't want to get actual tape residue on everything. I just don't want these carriages flying off. When does the R2 GitHub? Whenever Steve gets around, I'm putting them out. I think the files need like a once-over to make sure everything's good. Because, like, I have everything to build. I can build a Trident R2 right now with the full manual right now if I wanted to, but it's just not public yet, so I can't. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a good boy. But everything needs like a once-over, and then also Steve's driving a truck loaded with a bunch of printers and whatnot from Salt Lake City to California today. So I think he wants to be home and give everything a once-over and make sure everything's good. Plus, I don't know if we're going to reach out to a few companies beforehand just to make sure their kits are correct. Like, if anyone's going to be like... Because here's the thing, if you're doing an R2 Trident, you're probably going to want a top hat and clicky-clack doors, because you're going to need that if you plan on doing index, which a lot of people want to do. And then if you want a top hat just for index, you don't need a top hat that's as tall as the Stealth Changer top hat. You only need like 150 millimeters versus 200, I believe. It's in the video. Watch the video. Video's on the channel. Video's on the channel. Yeah, let Steve sleep. Like, put it this way. If you want to build a Trident R2, don't quote me on this, because if everything gets delayed 3 months, I'm sorry. But you're probably good to, like, if you don't really need the printer right now, you're probably good to start taking it apart, maybe? I don't know. I'm taking this apart because I'm tired of this printer sitting in my hallway. Plus, I didn't know what else to do today because my brain no work good enough for actual building printer day. So we're just kind of doing this right now. Recommend LDO? Personally, based on my experience, I recommend LDO. I haven't actually built a FormBot kit. I've heard they're kind of okay. I've heard the FormBot kits aren't too bad. Physec kits, I will only recommend a Physec kit based on my experience of building 2 Physec kits. This is a Physec kit. My experience with Physec is the hardware isn't bad. The electronics are shite. Every Physec I've built has had fans die, has had controller boards fail. If you can get a Physec kit really cheap and like you're okay replacing the electronics, that's actually not a bad option if you can save some money that way. But personally, I would not like the price of I would personally buy an LDO, or I would buy a FormBot over a Physec and an LDO over a FormBot. That's my experience. Full disclosure, Physec and LDO have both sent me kits in the past. I work with LDO quite often. They do provide a lot of the stuff you see on the channel. Disclosure there. But this is also, you guys know me, I voice my opinions on stuff. You guys know that. Hi, Bamboo. So, yeah. Okay, I gotta get this bed off this. Actually, I could probably take... No, I gotta take the bed off first. So to get the bed off, I gotta take all these wires off. Okay. Actually, I could probably do this. FormBot versus LDO. Oh, also Seaboard. I have built Seaboard kits. Seaboards are fun. Like, I have a Seaboard Trident, but notice how I called it a Seaboard Trident, not a Voron Trident. The Seaboard Trident is a quad XY. It's got a bunch of machine parts. So, like, the problem with my Seaboard Trident, I can't upgrade it to a Trident R2. There is zero upgrade path for that. You would have to basically buy a whole bunch of new components. So, LDO is the best option if you just want to build a stock Voron with a couple tweaks and quality of life improvements that is still able to upgrade as Voron's printers update. So, how many subs? I can't give you an answer on that, 3DP Iceland. It is a combination of exposure and the type of content you do and your mannerisms and how company, you know, you might luck out. Like, we have GamerSups. GamerSups is an official, like, partnerish person of the channel. They give me a channel discount. You guys get a discount with GamerSups. I got this because somebody who works at GamerSups literally was into 3D printing and just came across my channel and heard that I mentioned I drink GamerSups on it. Like, hey, you want to be a partner? I'm like, okay. So sometimes you just luck out. And yeah, although I will say it is kind of funny, as a YouTuber has gone through this, when you hit certain milestones, you get bots. So like when I hit 10,000 subs, that week I got like 4 times more than I normally got in terms of companies offering me shit. And a lot of it is just slop. It is like my inbox is filled with so many AI companies right now wanting to sponsor shit on this channel, and they go right to bin. I will never promote an AI image or an AI model generating service on this channel ever. Okay? I know people who do 3D modeling for a living, and this shit is all trained on it. Because I know people who have reached out to these companies and be like, oh, you want me to promote your product? Okay, can you guarantee me that everything that you're showing off here and what your model can do was trained on legit sources? That means either content that you either developed yourself or you licensed to train your model. None of them will do that. None of them will guarantee that because they all train on stolen models. So, fuck them. I will never promote AI-generated content on this channel. Yes, disclosure, there was a little period there where I was using AI-generated thumbnails for a bit, just because making a thumbnail for every stream is kind of annoying. But I completely stopped doing that. Full disclosure. Because, yeah, there was that period, fully admit, and you probably are like me too. When AI stuff first kind of came out, we were all playing with it. And then it all kind of sunk in how, like, malicious that shit is for those that do generate, who do make content for a living. How, like, bad it is. So it's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be promoting that shit. So it's about sales conversion rate. Not 100% true. It's not 100% true with sales conversion rate. Some companies will be willing to work with you, even if your numbers aren't the best, because it can still be a good thing. It could still be an exposure thing. It could be like a different audience. Like, how many 3D printers how many, okay, a good example, GamerSupps. GamerSupps sponsors a lot of VTubers on Twitch. I'm not a VTuber on Twitch. But sometimes it's nice to, you know, they might be looking for a different audience. They might be looking for a different market, a different demographic. It's not just a 100% numbers game. It's not always a numbers game. Everyone's keen to create content. Yeah. I have yet to see an AI-generated video where I've actually watched it and go, I want to watch that again. The only time I watch AI shit is like, it's stupid meme shit. That's the only thing, like, of any value is shitty memes. And they're shitty memes for a reason. Because they're shitty memes. Okay, I gotta undo all this. What time are we at? We actually might make a long stream today. YouTube. I mean, if anyone wants to make me a VTuber avatar based on my channel logo model, I will totally stream on Twitch with a VTuber avatar. But I am not dealing with, one, those models are not cheap. A good VTuber avatar, it's like a fursuit, okay? It's like anyone here who is part of that community knows, or even just is knowledgeable about that community, you know how expensive a fursuit is. A good VTubing avatar, we're talking like thousands, if not tens of $1,000s for a properly fully rigged out VTuber model. They are not cheap. And then also to utilize that, you need the equipment to do the face tracking. One second, I'm hearing noises from upstairs. Un momento, por favor. We saw the Mario movie a little while ago, so now the little guy's playing Super Mario Galaxy. So that's what I heard. Also, we're gonna be building these in the future. I don't know exactly when. Probably, I'm hoping next Friday. We got some new print kits. I really love the print kit stuff. So we will be doing print kit Friday next Friday. We're probably gonna do the Print Bright. But if you have a 3D printer. This is me just shilling something from a friend that I think is really cool. Also, Cocoa Press is cool too. If you have a 3D printer and you're looking for some sort of like monthly project to do with it other than print landfill prints, check out Print Kits. You get a project every month. This is not sponsored. This is not sponsored. You just give me this stuff. And I think it's cool because honestly, I'm tired of people buying printers and not knowing what to do with them. Get Print Kits or something similar and make shit every month. It's really cool. Hello from Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. How you doing over there? Hope everything is well with you, your family. Hope you are well. And also, Bontech gave me their index toque. So I got my index toque. I'm wearing this in a bunch of videos, by the way. A bunch of videos that I recorded at the event. I'm wearing this toque because they gave this to me and I put it on and I forgot I had it for the entire day. Because it's actually really comfy. So a bunch of videos I'm wearing the Bontech index toque. So home by live, that's good. That is good. Okay, where are we doing? Oh yeah, we're taking this off. So this has got to come off. Need a 3D printed maple leaf. I could probably put a 3D printed maple leaf on it. I have on my hat, I don't, you can see it. I have a 3D printed, Henrik did it. It's an electroplated benchy I have clipped on the hat. So. It is a nice hat. It's actually, like, no joke. I flipped it inside out. No joke. It's a pretty nice hat. It's a pretty nice hat. I like the colors. I like how they went with, like, more than 2 colors. Like, Index is multiple colors. Like, 4 or 5 colors, I think, in the actual logo. So, which way? Which way? There we go. There we go. Okay. Ordered a TZ V6 2.0 received a Revo clone. Do I send it back or just wait for another TZ? Which one's a TZ again? I'll be honest, I'm not up to date with all the hot ends on the market right now because I've just been kind of using Revos, tubes, and whatever comes with kits. This is a 350 Trident. This is a 350 by 350 by 250 Trident that we are tearing apart right now in anticipation of converting it to an R2 Trident that will be also getting a Bondtech index kit. We're going to be reprinting all the parts for this because I have to. And we're also, because Bondtech is Swedish, we are going to be using IKEA colors because it's IKEA. It is the Bondtech IKEA Trident. Somebody from Sweden's going to pop in chat and be like, stop doing the accent. It is horribly offensive. Although, considering how many people did dumb Canadian accents to me over the weekend, I feel like I'm allowed to do that. Oh, buddy, you're from Canada, eh? How come your head's not flapping? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a nice yellow and blue from LDO. I gotta go digging through my pile of filament that I've been collecting recently. I'm pretty sure I have some LDO yellow and blue filament that would work. You should flat pack it. No, I'm gonna leave the frame together. I don't need to take the frame apart. Trident R2, the frame is exactly the same. So you can reuse your frame. You don't have to reprint the frame, or you don't have to rebuild the frame. So I'm leaving the rails on, I'm leaving the side extrusions on, I'm leaving this vertical extrusion on. None of that changes. None of that changes. Cylindrical heatsink for Voron fitment. Oh, okay. I mean, if you bought it and it works and it's the same price, yeah, I'd use it. I mean, I would complain and see if they'll send you the right thing and then keep the one that they sent you that's wrong just so you have an extra one. I mean, it's not going to hurt. But that's me. This music reminds me of Mass Effect. This music is very Mass Effect-y. Okay, I think we got to flip this over because I got to undo the bed wiring. Hopefully... Okay, the bed's not kinematic, so I did this once. I think it was on the VZ-Bot. Or the rat rig, where the bed was kinematic and I tilted the printer and the bed slammed into the side panel, so. Nice to meet you, Bergen, Klergen, Nurgen, and the Jurgen Furds. I should wear my chef's hat and be the Swedish chef when building it. At least, Swedish is a real language, unlike Dutch. Like, at least Swedish is a real language, unlike Dutch. Ooh, I'm losing T-nuts everywhere. Oh my god, there's so many T-nuts in this. Okay, tilt. Try not to scratch up my wonderful tabletop here. And for anyone who's Dutch in the audience, it's funny, I'm sorry. I'm Canadian. People make fun of being Canadian all the time, so. Oh my god, all the dog hair. All the... Oh, there's a spider, and that's alive. What is the rating of an SSR with a spider? Look at it, look at it, look at it. Can you see it? Here, let me zoom in. Zoom in. Is that the zoom in? No, that's not the zoom in. That's that. We have a serious problem. Punch in. There we go. Punch in. Where'd he go? There he is. There he is. See him? See him right there? There he goes. There he goes. Which is best, 2.4 Trident? Yes. They both have pros and cons. It depends on your use case. They both have pros and cons. It depends on your use case. Oh, there you go. Squish. If it was a jumping spider, I'd let it live, but it was like a annoying spider. I wish I had a can of compressed air. A can of compressed air would be really handy right now. I don't think I have one though. Okay, so we are going to be replacing this power supply with a one of the smaller LDO power supplies. So we're going to be replacing this power supply with the compact 300 watt Let me go grab it right now, actually. Let me grab it right now. Run, 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 run. Where are you? Dear, I believe. Where'd I put it? Uh-oh. I don't know where I put it. Where did I put it? This is it. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, what's the MCU? Yeah, what do we have here for a controller? The controller is a Leviathan. So it's a Leviathan controller. That's good. We're leaving the Leviathan. Leviathan is staying in. I don't need to replace that. The power supply, we are replacing. It's an LRS 224. We're going to be replacing it with this, which is the LDO LCP 300. So 275 watts of 24 volts, and then 25 watts of 5 volts for whatever, LEDs maybe. We'll put a bunch of LEDs in it. That's going to get replaced. That's staying. Our Z motors, we're going to leave the Z motors alone. Z motors are fine. That might be it. We have a lot of room under. There is a lot of room under the hood on this printer. There's a lot of room under the hood on this printer. Do we have a tool headboard? Is that why? Oh, because this printer never had a tool headboard, I don't think. Or I ripped it out a while ago. I ripped it out to put it into something else. What Pi is that? It's a 3B. Or correction, it's a 4B. It's a 4B. So the Pi's fine too. We're going to reuse the Pi. Reuse the Pi. That's coming out. Replacing it with this, which is a much smaller power supply, and it's a gallium power supply. We are also going to replace the screen. I got to buy a couple screens. What is a good compact cheap touchscreen? Is it like the Waveshare 4.3? Because I need to get a new one for this. I want to put a touchscreen on this because I want to try the new not clipper screen. There's another one. I want to try that, but also we need to put one on the LDO Vivid, the LDO V2 with a Vivid. So I need to get that. I mean, I have touchscreens, but they're 7-inch. I have a couple, but these are 7-inch. These are huge. I don't want 7-inch touchscreens. I like 5 inches or smaller. So 7 inches too big. The LDO kits. Okay, that's another thing I'll talk to Jason about. See if we can get some LDO help, and if not, I'll just pull out the credit card. I still have to do my taxes. I have till the end of the month to do my taxes. I'm not looking forward to that. So yeah, let's unhook this. Let's get this all unhooked. So I gotta unscrew all this. So you come off. You can tell this is old because this wiring right here is some of my OG wiring that I stole from work back in the day for this power inlet. That's how old this is. Okay, I need a screwdriver. That'll do. Do I have a good screwdriver over here? No, I don't have my lttstore.com screwdriver in here. I'll have to use this random one. I thought I had a Phillips in here. No, I thought I had a Phillips. Is this a UV light? It is. Is this frame grow? It kind of glows in UV. The Big TT, yeah, I like the smaller screen. It's less in the way. Okay, so you come out. Okay, what else? So you're out. I mean, all this has to come undone, so I might as well pull this power supply out completely. I'm gonna be ripping it out anyways. I have like 4 or 5 of these, sitting in the closet. I don't know what to do. What can you do with a bunch of 200 watt, 24 volt power supplies? Like, is there any fun projects that just involve having a bunch of 200 watt power supplies? Because I have a bunch of them, because I've replaced a bunch over the years. Heck, I have a bunch of 12 volts I got to deal with. Power the Pi from the power supply. Yeah, it's more efficient that way, and you have less issues of it potentially dirty power. You have less dirty power issues. Okay, come on, step out. Come on. One came out. Power supply's out. So that's the power supply. Where are you? Oh, your bed ground. So bed ground is out. And then crunchy. Is it Helix screen? Yeah, there's like a new screen that people seem to like over Clipper screen. And I want to try that, so we're going to use this as an excuse to try it. So, might as well. Okay, what else are we going to unplug? Okay, so this is an end stop. And that is that. So that is all of that. So that is all the bed wires. That's good. The rest of this I can leave in here because I don't need to faff around with any of this. The dual wielded hats. You've never seen the baseball hat with a toque? That's a when I was in high school, this was common. I don't know if this is like a regional thing or an age thing, but when I was in high school, this was a common look, if that makes sense. I mean, we could get fancy and put a duet in it. I have a duet. I have two duet 2s still floating around. I got to figure out something to do with. Okay. You know what? I'll take the screen off now too. This fan keeps falling out. Kind of hard for the adhesive to stick if the adhesive is covered in dog hair. Even VHB is not immune to dog hair. Okay. You know what? I will leave that on for now. You know what? This I'll leave the skirts on for now. Come off really easy when you do them that way. Take the fans out. Plug you. So I will say, apparently the Prusman ASA after like 4 years does get a little brittle. Or these just, you know, this one I'm leaving on just because it has the power. I'll just leave it for now. I am leaving the power inlet. The power inlet one is staying blue. I have kind of an internal tradition that when I upgrade printers, I don't F with the power. So I leave the power inlet. A lot of the time you don't notice it because they stay black, because usually I leave black. But on this one, this part is staying blue. These are going to get reprinted, but I'm not going to do it now because then I would have to take off all the electronics because I got to put this on the ground. So I am leaving the feet on for now, but they are going to get replaced. Just spent 4 hours doing voiceover for the latest short. How do you edit voiceover? 4 hours doing for a short? Shorts are 3 minutes max, man. How'd that take you 4 hours? You want to know the trick? Do it live. I can go live. You guys have seen me live now for how many hours straight? No problem. When I go to film a video, Last week's video where I talk about, you know, how I'm kind of sad that people aren't doing DIY printers as much as they used to. That took me 5 different takes. I recorded that whole video 5 times. The first 4 were anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes each, and I deleted them. Because I didn't like, I went upstairs, watched it, got like a couple minutes in, didn't like it, started completely over. So, yep. You just kind of, the more you do it, the more you get used to it, kind of thing. It's one of those things that you just kind of, you have to do it enough that you get used to it. Also, I do my voiceovers in, whatchamacallit, I do my voiceovers in Audacity, not DaVinci. Because I don't really do voiceovers that often. I find it's easier to record the voice and then edit the video to the voice. Edit the footage to the voice instead of trying to record the voice to the video. So I will get the idea in my head if I am doing something like an ad read or whatever, or even a video where I am talking. I will talk, record it all, do a little bit of editing, like cut out the ums and the dead air and whatnot, and then I will add footage after. At least that's my workflow. That's how I do it. Whatever you find works for you, do it that way. That's my best advice, I guess. Okay, so. Trying to just scratch the heck out of my stuff here. Rip these skirts off. Taking the skirts off this way works really good because the nuts stay in the skirt. Okay, now we got to drop the bed. Take the flex plate off. You want to know why I hate shorts? Grant was telling me when he went to Rapid, and he just kind of walked around recording shorts on his phone and putting them out there, just shotgunning shorts out there. In like the 1 week at Rapid, he got 4 million views on his channel from shorts. Just recording random shorts on your phone and just throwing them out there without any planning. Because the thing with shorts, quality doesn't matter. You just throw everything out there and occasionally one just pops off. There's no rhyme or reason to shorts. It's luck of the draw. It's a lottery. And the problem is it inflates your numbers a lot, but it doesn't actually lead to people watching your content more regularly or people subscribing to your channel. It just kind of artificially, you know, bigger number, better person. That's about it. Oh man, this bed is heavy. Oh, I still got wires. What are these wires for? What are these wires for? Oh, an end stop. I don't need this end stop anymore. Oh, damn, that's actually tight in there. Yeah, this is a Z end stop. We don't need a Z end stop. Audacity. I've been using Audacity since like high school. When editing videos on Audacity, I remember using Audacity in high school. It's like one of the best open source softwares out there for this kind of stuff. So that's the bed. And now we just got to pull the bed frame out. We're good. There's a plugin. The thing is, I don't want to block shorts completely because there are so if you guys notice how I do shorts on my channel, when I do a short, it's basically a 3-minute video. I'm not doing slop. I'm not doing ADD slop. I'm just recording a 3-minute or less video. So that's how I do shorts. I record, it's like I make it the way I make videos, just it's only 3 minutes instead of, 10 minutes. Shorts is an advert. Yeah. A good way to do shorts, and like how I do it sometimes, is I will take a video and kind of cut it down, like just the meat and potatoes to shorts. And just like, hey, this is, if you want to watch the full video, link in the description kind of thing. I think that's like the best way to do shorts. Because I think it gets more people that would actually be interested in watching your long form content instead of just people continuously like. So the problem with like short content, people watch it via home pages, and they just let the algorithm dictate what they see. So yeah, they might see a couple of your videos, but they're not scrolling through and like subscribing. They're just like, oh, funny, ha. Okay, funny, next. Okay, funny, next. Oh, I don't like that, ignore. Like, there's no like actual like, it doesn't lead to people watching. Like, I'll watch a video on YouTube and go, wow, that's a great video. I will subscribe to the channel because I want to see more videos like that. I'm leaving the F695 bearings on the printed parts so I don't lose them. It just makes it more easy to find. Like, where do the fancy bearings go? They're on the printed parts still. Is there a description of shorts? There is. Most people don't fill it out though. Or they put like nothing. Okay, you want to know something funny? You want to know how you can tell what shorts I've uploaded from my phone and which ones I've uploaded from my computer? If you upload a short from your computer, it auto-fills with like your, you know how you scroll down, everyone scroll down, right? Grab your mouse wheel, scroll down, like the smash button if you haven't yet. But when you scroll down, you see how I have that huge block that's like, oh, if you want to help support the channel, here's some links, blah, 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 affiliate links, all that shit. That is a default. So and on my YouTube channel, you have a section on your YouTube channel in Creator Studio where you can put channel defaults, and it will auto-populate that on any video you upload on desktop. So pretty much you're only uploading videos on desktop. You're not going to edit a video on your phone and then upload a 10-minute video on your phone and upload it. You're doing it on desktop. When you upload a video through your phone, it doesn't auto-populate that. So if you want to know what shorts I uploaded for my phone and which ones I've uploaded from desktop, if there's that giant block of text that like has all the affiliate links, I uploaded it from desktop. And if not, it's a phone short. That's how you can tell. YouTube broke media content. You know what did it? Think about it this way. YouTube barely pays for content, right? YouTube barely pays for content. We get a portion of ad revenue, a small portion of ad revenue, and that's about it. So if I spend hundreds or thousands or millions of dollars making a video and put it out there, YouTube doesn't pay anything for that. They don't lose any money except for the nominal cost of hosting the video. Okay, and the processing to encode it. But if that video pops off, they get all the profit. So when you see like all these streaming services like Netflix and Disney, they are making nothing compared to YouTube because they have to spend so much money at the chance of making a profit, where YouTube is basically just constantly guaranteed profit as long as they don't, their hosting expenses are less. Because like, oh, hey, you know, we're losing money. Okay, we'll just lower the payouts for creators. We'll just, you know, instead of, you know, this percent, we'll just drop it a couple percent for ad revenue. And they've done that in the past. So, plus, I'll be honest, I get more content that I enjoy watching from YouTube than like, and to be fair, also some Twitch. But like, I consume more user-generated content than studio-created content regularly. And you know what? Most people are in that, are like in the same, did I unscrew that? No. Most people are in the same kind of boat there. Most people consume more user-created content than studio-created content nowadays. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper to make. YouTube is the only thing I watch. I will watch the odd series. Me and the wife, we just finished watching like Free Run Season 2, for example. Oh, this is, do I have, yeah. Me and the wife, we just finished watching Free Run Season 2. I think we're gonna watch Game of Thrones, the Dunkin' Egg stuff. YouTube used to show, yeah, it's annoying how many, they don't do that anymore. It's all algo. It's like you can't even go on YouTube and look at trending anymore. Like if you pull up YouTube, like here, hopefully my homepage doesn't have anything. I mean, you can tell the kind of videos I like. But on YouTube, notice how there's no trending page anymore. You can explore music, movies, and TV and live, and the live page is horrible because somehow I'm live here with almost 300 people, yet, you know, this is how YouTube promotes live. We can watch like Lord Fame Gaming because it only shows gaming live. It doesn't show anything else live except for like YouTube live is horrible for discovery. You have to like hope that your shit gets promoted to somebody's homepage to discover, for people to discover you while live. There we go. So there's, put my nut back on so I don't lose it. I'm surprised it's taken this long to tear this down, but then again, I'm talking a bunch. We're going on tangents. What filament for like printing the parts? Any ABS or ASA. You get like any good quality ABS or ASA is fine for index parts. Like the only index parts you really have to print are like the parts for your printer itself if you're building the printer. So whatever you would normally use for building your printer, that's what you use for index. Because you're just printing a couple dock mounts and a carriage adapter. So glass filled worth it? I like it in low percentage. So if you are doing like a glass fill, like I really like Polymaker CF08 ASA. Okay, Polymaker, in my opinion, their ABS is okay, but if you're gonna be like, my current recommendation is if you're buying Polymaker filament for printers, like a Voron, get their ASA over their ABS. Their ABS is fine. It's just a blend. It's a Polylite ABS, so it's a blend to print a little bit easier. So a little bit less warping. So if you are printing it on a printer that isn't designed to print ABS, so you're printing it like on a Bamboo A1 with a cardboard box on it, go with the Polylite ABS. It's easier to print. But if you already have a printer that prints ASA just fine, go with the Polymaker ASA. It's a bit better, in my opinion. It's got a bit higher temperature resistance. It's got a little bit better properties, so. But I do like the glass-filled ASA from Polymaker, the CF08 ASA. We printed all the parts for the stealth changer in it, and I really like it. Almost done. We just gotta pull these off, and then we drop the motors, and we're done. Had an alternate non-gaming algorithm. So if you go to your homepage and you're very regular at saying like, don't recommend me this content again, and telling it to, you know, like, don't promote this, don't show me this channel again. If you're really good at curating your homepage feed, it actually is pretty good. It actually is pretty consistent. It does get to a point where it's pretty good. I just hate the fact that they do the same kind of algorithmic curating that they do for your subscription page. It's like, no, if I'm subscribed to 1,000 channels, I want you to show me all the latest videos from those 1,000 channels I'm subscribed to. I don't want you to go like, oh, well, you didn't watch the last video this channel did, so we're not going to promote it ever again. You forget about it. Because, you know, that hurts channels like me, where some of my content bounces around between some different types, right? So if I decide, hey, I'm going to make a video where I do a 3D printed computer case and you're not interested in computer builds and you don't watch it, and then I go back to doing a printer build, which you do want to watch, it might not promote it to you. Because it's like, well, you didn't watch the last video from this creator, ergo, you're not going to watch anymore. I hate curated recommendations. I mean, it's fine that it exists, but don't take away my option to just be like, show me most viewed videos. I want to see what everyone else is watching. I hate how Reddit got rid of r/all. You can still get at it if you use old Reddit, but if you go on new Reddit, r/all doesn't exist anymore. They got rid of it. They want you seeing what they want you to see via curated algorithms. It's not a blend. I know it's not a blend per se, but it has the same kind of deficiencies as a blend. It's a lot like eSun ABS Plus back in the day, where it prints a little bit better, but you're not getting the full mechanical properties of that. And also, how is the resin formulated? How is the resin formulated? Because I'm pretty sure they don't give away the actual recipes for the resin. I can't remember how this is held in. Should I hold off on R2? Victor Prince Jr., personally, I would. You can put your frame together. You can print your skirts. You can get all your electronics done under the hood. You can see how this is right now. You can get this far. And then hold off on R2, print the parts for R2 when they come out, and buy the extra couple pieces of hardware you'll need. Some extra screws, bearings, and M5 heat sets. I completely missed the bit on that. But personally, if you haven't finished the build yet, I would hold off on R2. Or at least, you know, only do under this, build the frame, get the frame built, make sure it's all nice and square. You can print your skirts, you can put your electronics under there. You could do all that. Just don't go further than that. Don't put your motors on, for example. Is this wedged in? Oh, that's wedged in there. That's why. Oh, shoot. Can I get that out? Ah, shoot. I might not be able to. I got to drop the motor. Not enough clearance, Clarence. Any idea on timing? Soon. Like, internally, it's at a point where you can build it. With the manual. It's just... Somebody said in chat, Steve was saying later this week on a stream. Don't quote me on that, but somebody in chat said Steve said he was pretty close to it, so. Okay, how do I get this out? Do I gotta pull these out? Long live feed. I've never heard of feed. So how could YouTube be dead? Also, you're all watching me on YouTube right now. Don't forget to like the smash button. Okay, what are you? How are you held on? Okay, you're loose. Oh, it's a stupid cutoff. That's why. Okay. Is there a tab in there? Is that? There we go. Okay. Oh, that's why. Yeah. Oh, there's a stupid index. That's why. That's annoying. Can you come out? Yeah, there we go. Okay, one motor. Haha. Once we get this motor out, we're going to be doing we're doing the giveaway at 4:30. So if you haven't entered for your chance to win some polymaker filament, link in the video description, enter for your chance. We're going to be doing the draw at 4:30 today. Any ET on Prusa Index on the Core 1L? Soon. I mean, I've heard stuff from the show in terms of timelines for Index. For Prusa, I have no idea. I'm assuming they're pretty close to each other, but I can't give you exact numbers because I just can't. Is that screwed in from the front? That is screwed in from the front. So that one I got to flip it over to get at. We'll do that later. You're garbage. Fun. Dude, this weekend was awesome. Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fests are always fun. Rep Rap Fests are always fun. I gotta put some stuff there. I don't want to lose these. Rep Rap Fests are always fun. Bruce will have an announcement later this week. Awesome. 3DP Iceland. Are you actually in Iceland? It's funny. I have been to Iceland 4 times. I've been to Iceland 4 times. 8 if you count going there and back. But I've yet to step foot outside the airport. I've been to Keflavik several times. And by Keflavik, I'm in the airport. And that's it. Because if you are in Iceland, that's pretty cool. Although I feel sorry for what your shipping costs probably are. I don't want to know what your shipping costs are. Always look bitty. So Cody, word of advice, if you're looking for me at an event and I am moving around looking busy, that's my normal state at events. So just come up to me, say hi. If I have to do something, I'll let you know. So if you just see me running around like a chicken with my head cut off at an event, I always look like I'm running around with the chicken with my head cut off at an event because I'm scatterbrained at events. So just come up, say hi. If I have to do something, I'll just, be like, hey, cool, okay, and I'm off. But if I got time to talk, I have no problem stopping to talk. It's just, sometimes I'm just running around. Who was it? Reprinted, I think it was. He ran into me 4 times. And every time I was in the middle of something. And then finally he ran into me. It's like, oh, hey, what's up? We chatted for a bit. So it just kind of depends what I'm in the middle of. So, there we go. Yes, I'm from an island city. If you hit me up more than the airport, yeah, shipping is terrible. Yeah, I believe it. No, I really want to take a bet. So for those that don't know, if you live in North America and you go into Europe, you can fly Iceland Air, which actually is really cheap flights. They're relatively inexpensive flights. That's usually what I do when I went for Smurf in the past, or when I flew over for shoot. I didn't do it when I went to Prusa. No, when I went to go visit Bodtech last year, I flew Iceland Air as well. But the advantage is the way it works is you fly. They're all 737s. There's no food on the plane other than snacks, and the seats aren't the greatest. But you fly from wherever to Keflavik, and then Keflavik to wherever in Europe. So it's a pretty good flight, right? It's 5 hours from Detroit to Keflavik, and then 2 hours to Manchester. It works out pretty good, and the flights are pretty good. But Iceland Air offers an extended stayover. So after you book your flight, you can request a 24, 48, or 72-hour layover, just so you can spend a couple days in Iceland. So say you're hey, you know what? On my way back, I have an extra day. I'm just gonna spend a day hanging out in Iceland. Just go to the main city and whatnot, do the tour stuff. And it's actually pretty cool that they offer that. I think that's pretty cool, and it's smart of them because Iceland isn't really a big country, and if you can hit up quite a few tourist spots in Iceland in 72 hours. So. I got to take advantage of that one day. Problem is, I don't want to do it by myself. And usually when I travel, it's by myself. So, okay. I have one more motor I got to get at. I got one more motor I got to get at. Okay, let's get you. Or actually, no, I can just pull this out. Pull that out. And then, oh, I can't. Can I take, no, there's stuff glued to this, right? Yeah, there's stuff glued to this, so I can't take this out. Don't take that bottom panel off. There's stuff glued to it. What is glued to it? Oh yeah, stuff is screwed through it. Yeah, I don't want to take this panel off. Yeah, there's stuff screwed to it. Yeah, the wiring and all that. I don't want to F with that. I do got to take this off though. Now is a good time to, if you want to do it, I don't want to do the inverted electronics. I am personally, especially considering I'm putting index on here, so I would have to put inverted electronics on top of a top hat. So if you do plan on doing index or any type of tool changing that you need to put a top hat on, which we're going to have to put a top hat on, there's no point in doing inverted electronics because you need to put a top hat on your printer. So since this is going to have an index, we're putting a top hat on it. I can't invert my electronics. So, inverted is underneath. No, and inverted is on top because the stock setup for electronics is electronics underneath. So if you do inverted electronics, oh wait, are you? Oh wait, no, I'm thinking top hat electronics. No, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm an idiot. Inverted electronics is where you put your electronics on a bottom panel, and then this you can like lift this up to see the electronics instead of having to flip it over. I'm backwards. Ignore me. I'm an idiot. Can I get this out? Can I get that out? I can. Okay, shit. There we go. Okay. So this is a bit annoying because this whole bottom panel is held in by stuff zip tied to wires. So 1 second here. See if I can. Will this be safe here? I mean, this panel is just floating on stuff zip tied to wires. So that's not good. But yes, R2 does make going to inverted electronics easy if you want to go that route. I'm not going to just because I don't have the stuff to do it and I'm lazy. Like the electronics are already wired up and mounted. I'm just going to leave them. They're already set up. So I might as well leave them set up. There we go. Oh, shit, come on. Damn it. Okay, can I get this out? I don't know if this will... Try to undo this screen mount here without breaking it. I mean, I might just end up breaking it. That's that one. There's this stupid controller in the way. Yeah, I'm thinking top hat. I'm thinking Doom Cube for some reason. Okay, you know what? You know what? Chicken butt. There we go. There we go. Oh my god, this is so much lighter now. Oh no! My carriage. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I fucked up. I lost the carriage. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hold your breath, everyone. Hold their breath. Hold their breath, everyone. Hold their breath. Woo! Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Woo! Woo. Okay, we're gonna hold them in place. Thank you, Linus, for your zip ties that you gave me when I visited you guys. You weren't there, but somebody on your team gave me a bunch of zip ties. So we're gonna use that to make sure I don't lose my balls now. We don't want to lose my balls. That would be bad. So thank you, Linus. There we go. Okay. Yeah, put all these forward so I don't lose my balls. Don't want to lose our balls. That would be bad. See balls on the table? They're not balls. They're the M8s with T-nuts that we're holding on the whatchamacallits. Is this a Z? That's an A motor. That's the A motor. That's the B motor. Okay. Should probably put some zip ties on this so I don't lose that, but I think I already did it at some point. Okay. I mean, we're going to have to take this off anyways. I'm going to have to turn it because this rail mounts on the side now, so I'm just going to twist the extrusion instead of taking the rail off. There's no point. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. And the right woman helps prevent losing those. I mean, you could also do what I do and just get them snipped so they don't work no more. Then you don't have to worry about kids. Okay, so there we go. Outside of a few incidental stuff that I'm going to have to reprint, like These will be coming off, but I'm not taking the feet off until I print new ones because I don't want to have to, I'm leaving most of the electronics wired up underneath. So I'm leaving these on for now, but these will be replaced. This extrusion is going to have to be twisted so that the rail's on. I can't remember if it's this side or this side. I think it's this side, but we'll wait for that. But yeah, this is now ready for an R2 upgrade. So I just got to, you know, print all the parts to build an R2 Trident. And then we got to wait for an index kit to show up. So this, I don't know exactly the timetable. I mean, I've heard some numbers and dates. But the plan is, whenever R2 goes public, we will start the build. If, for whatever reason, I don't get an index kit before we get to it, we will just pause the build at the point where we go to put index on it. And then when we do get an index kit, we will resume. Simple as that. So yeah. Plus, I think this gets an actual proper hidey hole for the electronics. Shouldn't you print the parts before tearing it down? Well, I don't need the printer. It's always a good rule of thumb to print your parts first before tearing your printer down. But if you have many a printer to print new parts, you don't need to worry about that. So. Like, essentially, I'm going to wait a day or two just to make sure everything's good, and then I'm going to start printing parts. We actually, on the Friday stream, that's what we'll probably be doing. On Friday, I'll probably be printing parts. Or actually, I might even start tomorrow or today, whatever. Like, I have the files, but they're development files. So knowing my luck, Steve, as soon as I start printing stuff, Steve will be like, okay, there's revision to all these parts. Wouldn't be the first time. The foam has like something oozing on it. I don't like it. I gotta clean this all up. But yeah, there we go. So this printer will gain some height because I do need to put a top hat on it. So I'm gonna have to get a 350 top hat to put on this. It's 350 top hat, new idlers, and a touchscreen. And then any hardware, but I think I have the hardware. I'm gonna go check to see what I have for heat sets. I will not be doing CPAP. I will be doing the dual 4010 blowers because this printer will be fully enclosed, which means I'll probably be printing a lot of ABS. Plus, I kind of like the look of the dual 4010s. If you haven't seen what the dual 4010s look like, let me pull it up here. Let me pull it up here. So, this is the CPAP tool head. All it is ducts that clip on the side. So the same tool head works, you just have different ducts. Shit, I don't know if I zoomed out at this point on this to see it. I don't think I actually took a picture of it. This has you can see how it's a little bit wider there. This has the 4010 ducts. So there's a 4010 on each side. So I need to get some like Honey Badger or like crazy powerful 4010s, but for now I'll just use stock ones that I have. Yeah. Still be around in 5 years? I don't see why not. And if you want to upgrade, it won't be hard. How much of the index? As of right now, technically, outside the metal stuff, it's all printed. It's all SLS printed though. If you ordered a Founders Edition index, you will get an SLS printed tool head and tools. Later by summer, when it's like available to just go on the website and buy as a in-stock item, it will be injection molded. They're moving to injection molded simply for the fact that they can't keep up production with SLS. Their SLS takes too long to produce batches of parts. The parts are like, you won't see any performance difference. They'll be functionally the same thing. You won't notice any difference. It's just for lower production, and because it was in development, you know, it takes time to build the molds. Well, guess what? The molds are pretty much done soon. But, you know, they've been running their Fuse 1 machines. If you remember, let me pull it up here. Pull it up here. Let me pull it up here. Videos. How do I search my videos? Bondtech. Bondtech. So last year when I went to visit Bondtech, they have this entire room here. There's Martin. He's a great guy. In Sweden, they have this entire room in their factory. They just got this factory, like they just got this shop last year. So they have all these Formlabs Fuse 1 SLS machines. This is what they're like. If you buy an index, do I have anything here? Do I have any indexes in here? I don't think I have any indexes. Or not indexes, extruders. If you have any, like an LGX extruder or any Bondtech extruder, all those plastic parts are SLS. They make them in-house on this instead of like having injection molding. So this is the older version of index. So all these parts are, I do miss how they don't have that red accent part anymore. But so everything here is made on, internally on their Fuse 1s. The problem is you have to go through this whole debinding process and post-processing in a clean room. It's super messy. It's not great for you. You have to wear all this safety equipment. You have to have it in a negative pressure room. It's kind of a mess. It's a mess. So for the production, indexes, they will be outside the Founders editions. They will be injection molded, which is fine, which is normal. They're using, it is still nylon. It's still the same material, just injection molded instead of SLS. If you want to watch that video, I'm linking it there in chat. So it makes sense. It makes complete sense to go injection molding at the scale. Because like, for example, they're moving to, I don't know if it's metal injection molded or cast parts for a lot of the tool head in the production. But as it is right now, the index tool head has like 100 separate parts, and it takes an hour of manufacturing to make one. Which is fine for limited production, but considering how many people want these things, they can't keep up. So they're moving to injection molding and, you know, more efficient ways of production for the components, which makes complete sense. They have to. It has to. Also, fun fact about the Formlabs SLS machines. If you notice in that video, they had names on the machines. Those are encoded on the firmware level from Formlabs. So when you buy the machine, there's a name attached to it. It's like verb noun or animal phrase or something. Like they have like a system for it. You can't change the name. So whatever name you get is the name of the machine. I guess some university in the States bought a bunch of these machines, and somebody found one of the names offensive. So they had to return the machine because they couldn't rename it. So, how long before they're selling index knockoffs? If you know some of the tolerancing, the machining, the specifications, and like the work that goes into it, it would be very... It's not hard to knock it off. It would be hard to knock it off and it not be a disaster. Put it that way. Plus, don't buy the knockoffs. Like the nozzles are $35 US. For the entire hot end assembly, for the entire tool assembly, it's $35 US. That's not bad. You're not going to be saving much buying the Chinese knockoff and dealing with all the quality control issues and reliability and tolerancing, because the system is going to be like the fact that like the tools you can pretty much swap them and they're guaranteed to line up for the most part. Are you really willing to risk it buying a bunch of knockoff tools where like now nothing lines up properly anymore? And you know, hey, you know, it uses an inductive heater, so you need to make sure the metal that you're using in all the hot ends is all the same, so they all heat up the same way and they all behave the same way under inductive heating, are you really going to risk rolling the dice with, you know, sus pots and pans metal? I've worked on plenty of mold from China, and it's very interesting when like you weld it here and then you weld the same block of steel like a foot over and it welds differently because the metal hardness is that much different. It is fun. So yeah. Yeah. All the Bondtech folks. Oh yeah, they're great. I ran into again at the airport when they were leaving. They're great folks. They are awesome folks. Pretty much everyone in the... how do I word this? Any 3D printing company that sends people to a 3D printing event is usually good folks. It's... The only bad experiences I've had with 3D printing companies are the companies that don't partake in the community. They rely on the community to make money, but they don't show up when at the community events. Take that as you will. So, but yeah, they're all great folks. They're all great folks. Can you put cartographer on it? You can. There is a load cell already in the tool head, and you're going to want to use that for nozzle probing and for calibrating the offset, because there's a macro where it like picks up each tool and automatically measures offsets and then saves it. So you don't need to like it'll automatically calibrate all the different tools for offsets and everything. But there is absolutely nothing stopping you from it. And the Trident at the event had a cartographer or a beacon on it. I can't remember which one. So what you would do, in my opinion, if you wanted to do a bed mesh every print, use the nozzle probe for the probing and then use the cartographer or the beacon for the bed mesh, okay? Or, you know, what I do where you just save the mat, do one big bed mesh once, save it, and then just do like tramming or quad gantry level and then pull up the mesh that you've already saved. It's Clipper. It's Clipper, bro. You can do whatever you want. It's Clipper. Just tell it what to do, it'll do it. But there is a mount available for the tool head where if you want to mount on an additional like cartographer or beacon probe, you can. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. The joys of open source, or at least stuff that's open. The index isn't open source. You can't make your own index, but it supports open source standards for like compatibility with firmwares and adaptability and stuff like that. So it's not open source, but it's open source friendly. So, which is good. I have no problems with companies protecting stuff that they put the time and development into. If they want to. So if a company wants to spend the time developing something, putting the R&D budget in, designing something in-house, coming up with something unique and new, and they want to protect what they've worked on, I have no qualms about that. It's really nice when they're open to working with companies like Bondtech is with Prusa, for example. They were also talking about potentially having Diamondback nozzles available in the future for those that want to print the Gucci hard stuff. You can get tools with Diamondback nozzles in it. That will be really nice to have because you can mix and match nozzles. So you can have like one Diamondback nozzle for all your super hard materials, and then the rest nozzles just be normal and use them all in the same print. It's just when companies kind of take something that's kind of very, very similar to what's already out there and just try to throw patents on it. That's what I don't like. Or they design something and they do not want to share it. Like, at least make it so it's reasonable for people to support stuff. That's what I like to see. So, can you mix tool heads like index and a box drill? There's no reason you can't. You would have to set up the macros, but like for example at the show, was it the Armored Turtle, the AFC booth, the automated filament control, I think it is. They're right across from the Voron booth. They had a Snapmaker U1, and each of the 4 tools on a U1 had an MMS system on it. So they had like a Big Tree Tech Vivid, a Box Turtle, a Claymore, and an Emu, each on a separate tool head. So it had 4 tool heads and 16 colors total, okay? So it's Clipper. As long as you could figure out the macros and the way to physically do it and the way to tell the printer to do what you want it to do, it will do it. So yes, you could have one of the tools on the index system hooked up to an MMS unit, okay? As long as you figure out how to set up the firmware to do it, it'll do it, okay? Remember, as far as the printer is concerned, it's just, oh, T1, I move to this position, I unlock tool, I pick up new tool, or I drop tool off, I move to this position, I pick up new tool, I heat up, I print. The printer has no idea what it's actually doing. It's just following G-code commands. Okay, so as long as you can make G-code commands to do something, it'll do it. It's pronounced E-my-u. Okay, it's the E-my-u unit. You would need a cutter. Okay, figure out how to put a cutter on it. If you can figure out how to put a cutter on it. That is the only thing as of right now that I can really critique the index system on. There is no runout sensor in the tool head. That is the only thing I can critique the index system on as of right now. The only thing that I think is a negative on it, there is no runout sensor on it. But there's absolutely nothing to stop you from putting a runout sensor on the filament line going in. Okay, so you could have runout sensors on your filament on the Bowden tubes, like just before it comes in, have a little thing to just simple end stop to read if it's filament full or not. That will either cause a pause or a rollover, right? Because when it does a rollover, all it has to do is now dock that tool. Okay, that tool is now empty. Grab, have black, yellow, red, whatever. Okay, that black is empty. Dock that black. Grab the next black tool head. Keep going. Okay, or the 2 reds or 2 blues or 2 whites or whatever, right? It's all comes down to how you set up your macros and your configuration. So, yeah. Like I was talking with Steve. I don't have a picture of it, but on his setup, if you watch the video, you'll see it. So after the stream here, if you're a channel member, Patreon supporter, or you become a channel member right now, there is the video on the Trident. That will be out tomorrow, but we show off the Trident with the index system in that video. He has these little clips on the side just to route the filament around, just to route the Bowden tube. I want to put basically a simple end stop in each one, just a micro switch with a ball bearing just to detect yes, no, filament in, yes, no, simple as that. And you just plug it up to the controller. The thing is, you need as many end stops as you have filament going in to detect that for the system to work properly, because there is no runout sensor in the tool head, unfortunately. But it wouldn't be hard to develop a board that just has 10 end stops on it. Just use an RP2040. You can breadboard this. An RP2040 with 10 end stops on it, or 10 plugs for end stops on it. USB cable, stick that on the back of your printer, run a USB cable to your Pi, and just wire in all your end stops. Simple as that. It wouldn't be hard at all. That might be something I end up doing. So yeah, just have it be like the index runout sensor unit or something. BRS. There we go. Oh, I've already figured out a name for it. End stop runout unit or system. There you go. Heck, put some semesters on it too. Why not? So yeah. If there's, and here's the thing too, for those who want a cutter, just figure out a way to mount a cutter above it. Simple as that. Like, yeah, the problem is you would have to do a lot of purging because you'd be cutting it pretty high up. Or put the cutter on the printer. You have your docks across the front, have one of the docks have a cutter built into it. So so you only need one cutter. So if you're printing with something and you need to swap that one tool, all it does is it docks that one tool that needs the cutter onto the dock that has a cutter in it, cuts the filament, and then you pick it back up, it ejects it. And then you take that now empty tool and you dock it wherever it needs to dock. So you could have a fixed mounted on the frame cutter. You don't need to put a cutter in the tool head, because on the index tools, okay, so if you look at the tools on the index, let me see if they should have a picture here of one of the tools. Yeah, so you see this gap right here? So this is how the extruder grabs the filament, okay? So it comes like, it clamps on, and this gap right here, you'll see the filament go through. What's to say you have a dock where you dock this in and it cuts the filament right here, right at the bottom, okay? Or right at the top, whatever, okay? Cuts it right at the bottom. So then you can pull the filament right out. The problem is too, you need something now to pull the filament out, okay? But an MMS unit would be able to do that. So it cuts it at the bottom, pulls it right out. And then you go and dock the tool, or it feeds a new filament in. Is there jam detection? You would need an end stop to detect jam detection. That is something you would have to put outside the printer. So the Prusa Core 1 does have runout sensors. The Core 1, I do believe, has runout sensors, the same as the XL, where it has them on the side when the filament flows through before it goes into the machine. The Prusa Core 1 does have runout sensors. On whatever printer you put it on, you'll have to figure out how you're doing runout sensors. If you want runout sensors, you don't need them. They're just nice to have. It does not need... Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You would have to cut it up top. You would have to cut it up top because if there's no filament in here, it can't grab it. Actually, I can't remember if they added an additional grab point. I can't remember. I think, yeah, it does grab it by the filament, but there's other stuff for indexing as well. I would have to play around with it. This is just a, you know, somebody made a comment, I'm thinking about it thing. I would have to actually play around with it to see if that's viable. So, you got an A1 Mini for $100? That's so lucky. Yeah. Oh, I know the XL has run out in the tool head, but it has a lot more room to do that. So, like, it wouldn't be hard to print a little hat that has a runout sensor in it. Like, it wouldn't be that hard. The problem is, like, yeah, it wouldn't be that hard. Like, here, let me pull it up here. The problem is it only grabs it here. If you were to have a runout sensor, it would have to be in here. Because the Bowden tube comes right in here, and there's no electronics. So that's the downside with the system. You would have to have a runout system in here. But that's where your extruder gear is. It would be almost like you would have to redesign the entire system to have a runout sensor in here. You would have to have some sort of micro switch in here, and then you'd have to have like pogo pins for it to interface. So you would need extra electronics, because you can't just like put something on top to read the filament, because the filament's in a Bowden tube coming in here. Okay, so you have the only way this could do runout sensors is external. The only way is external, unfortunately, unless you have some sort of 3D printed thing with a micro switch to detect filament, and then some other way for that to communicate with this every time it picks up the new tool, unless you want to run wires along with your Bowden tube all the way back. Like, it would make it a lot more complicated than it already is, and it already is a pretty complicated system. Like, if you've seen, I don't think they have pictures on here, but if you were at the event and you saw pictures of the inside of the tool head, there's not a lot of room for activities going on in there. Somebody became a member. Salsa, thank you for becoming a member. Cheers and appreciate it. Yeah, there's not a lot of extra room in there. Like, honestly, what I'll probably do is I will just put end stops on the filament in. So as it's feeding filament in, if it detects that it's out of filament, it'll just pause the print. And then you could just do a manual unload and reload, or set it for filament rollover. So say I'm printing something big, just, you know, if tool 1 runs out, it'll just, if detects tool 1 runs out, it parks it, and then it just grabs tool 2 and keeps printing, or vice versa, right? Is there a temp sensor in the tool? Yes, the sensor is built into the tool. It's IR. So on the tool itself, there's a flat surface of metal right near the actual nozzle itself, like where the, I mean, the whole thing's one unit, but near the, like where the filament comes out. The whole thing is in silicone. There's a silicone sock over the whole thing, but there is one square flat of exposed metal. That's the other thing. If somebody were to come out with a knockoff thing, temperature measuring, unless they use the exact same metal with the exact same finish, you're not going to get the same temperature readings. So it's got to be calibrated and everything. But there is an IR sensor. So that's how they can do, there is zero electronics in the tool. That's the advantage of the index system over something like a Bondtech Vortech. You don't have PCBs and stuff that adds to the cost and can break, you know, inside the tool. The tool is completely inert. There is no electronics in the tool. Everything that does the work is in the tool head itself. So yeah, the coil is curved around the nozzle and the IR breathes it right through. So there is no PID tune because there is no need to PID this system. It's linear because the inductive heater transfers the heat into the nozzle so quickly and efficiently, and there's so little actual mass in the tool head or in the nozzles themselves, there is no PID tuning. You don't need to PID tune the system. It just hot. Heater on, heater off. It reacts so instantly. So they're like, I asked them, like, how do you have to PID each nozzle? It's like, you don't have to PID anything. It just works. The settings that we have just consistently across the board. You don't need to do any tuning. So. Are the plastic part 3D printable? I do believe you could print the tools. Like, where'd that picture go? This is all SLS. So when you buy the tool, you get this whole thing. So you get the heat sink, the heat break, the nozzle. This is all one complete unit. There is a little spring in here. So when it indexes, the spring helps with repeatability. And then you got your 2 locating pins. And then you have this whole SLS printed plastic part and then the boating clip. This is all the tool. So when you buy the tool, you get this whole thing. There is no replacement nozzles. There's no replacement heat sinks. You just get, this is it. This is the whole unit here. It's 35 bucks. And then the tool itself, or the tool head itself, this is an old picture. This looks completely different than the current ones. I think even this has changed as well. But like, this is the tool. So you buy the tool. I think the tool is $350, and then the tools are $75 or $35 each. So, yeah. How do you remove an existing? I don't think you do. It just whatever the settings are is what they are. If you don't use PID, does Clipper still do? Yeah, Clipper still works normally. It still has, you know, overheating detection. There is a system in place if the heater were to heat up, if the inductive heater were to heat up without a nozzle in place, it actually can damage the system. Anyone who's used an inductive heater before knows that, because now there's nothing to heat sink essentially the heat away, because it's a curved heater. But there is a whole safety system in place. It is safe. You don't have to worry about thermal runaways. It has your normal, it's not, the safety system still works. So the tool heads are disposable and wear out. The same as any nozzle. It's the same as any nozzle. It's like a good nozzle costs $10 to $30 to $40. So you're buying a nozzle that has the whole assembly attached to it. Think of it that way. You're buying a hardened CHT nozzle that happens to also have a heat sink and a mount attached to it. So the whole system is one unit. The system wouldn't work if the nozzles were replaceable, because they would have to be bigger so you could take it apart. You would need threading and all that stuff, and you would need to worry about oozing and all that stuff. It makes way more sense from a production, usability, and ease of use standpoint to have it just be one assembled unit. So yes, if you do happen to wear out the hardened nozzle, you would have to replace it. But guess what? Anytime you wear out a nozzle, you got to replace it. So, or you just up it a size, and now your 0.4 nozzle's a 0.5. So, yeah. Do they get an FCC tap? I'm assuming so. I'd hope so. I don't know. That's something you'd have to them about. I have no idea. I did not look into that at all. They're in Sweden. So Sweden's European. Is Sweden part of the EU? I'm assuming they're part of the EU. If not, they're European, so you know them and their regulations. I'm assuming it's fine. I'm assuming they're all qualified and everything. I'm printing an A4T from PA6 on my Bamboo A1 Mini. I'm not even drunk. Is the A1 Mini can get hot enough for that? We're going to be doing the giveaway in 3 minutes, by the way. We're doing the giveaway in 3 minutes. Oh, it's hardened by default? Yeah, it's a hardened CHT nozzle. Yeah. It's a tool steel hardened CHT nozzle. And I think it has a coating on it. 250? Okay. I don't know what I'm doing for dinner tonight. I gotta figure that out. So if you haven't entered yet for a chance to win some Polymaker filament, you have 2 minutes left. We're going to be doing the draw at 5 p.m. So we were supposed to do 4, and then this took longer to take apart than I thought, and then we just kept yapping because you guys have questions about index, which is always cool. It's always cool to have questions. It's max temp. It can't do above 300 because the silicone sock, because of the inductive heater, or the because of the IR sensor, and the fact that it has a silicone sock on it. It has to have the sock on it because oozing would be a big problem if the nozzles were to get gummed up with ooze. The IR sensor wouldn't be able to read as good, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, it is a mechanical limitation. Let's be honest, this isn't really a system you want to use to print PPS. Like, if you're printing PPS, you kind of want a dedicated, you want a printer that's built with that kind of in mind. Yeah, I could see if, I want to print PPS with a support material, and they might have higher temperature stuff in the future, but let's be honest, it is a tool changer in a multicolor system. Majority of us are going to be printing PLA, PETG, TPU, because it can do, by the way, it can do flexibles, no problem. Might even be able to do 3mm flexibles mixed with your 1.75 flexibles. That's something they're playing around with, but I don't know for sure. So don't quote me on that. And I didn't say anything, right? I didn't say anything. Because, the thicker filament works better for flexibles. But anyways, it's not really a PPS system. It's not a high temp system. It's a tool changing system for like the most common plastics. You're going to be able to do nylon. You're going to be able to do polycarbonate. You're going to be able to do PLA, ABS, PETG, all that fun stuff that we all normally print. But like, let's be honest, I don't print PPS on, a Bamboo X1 can't do PPS. It can't go above 300. The vast majority of commercial printers can't do above 300 safely. If you're printing a lot of PPS, you probably have a dedicated machine for that, or any of the other high temp materials, right? We're rebuilding a high temp printer specifically for that use case. So. I just seen yesterday a video short of nozzles being cracked off at the cone leading at the flat of the hex area. Drew Bradley, I have no idea what you're talking about. Is thermal fracture? Maybe? What nozzles, what hot end, what nozzles being cracked off at the cone leading into the flat of the hex? Like, it could be over tightened. What system? Is there any FISAC? The frame and all the hardware on this machine is FISAC. It's just all the electronics suck. The only electronic thing we're still using is the motors and the bed. Anyone has money for PEC? I know everyone wants to print PEC except for the fact that it's like $150 to $300 a spool for a 250 to 500 gram spool. Everyone wants to print PEEK, but nobody wants to pay for PEEK. Also, let's be honest, the majority of people don't need to print PEEK. Unless you have a printer that could do an ambient of like 100 plus, you're wasting your time. What's the change with the stepper motor on the V2? There is no V2. We're talking R2. Trident R2, you can use your old stepper motors just fine, but if you want to use long shaft stepper motors for double shear, so you have a bearing at the top of the shaft to prevent it from leaning over when you tighten your belts, you can use that now. That is supported by stock in Trident R2. Also, 53mm shorter belt path. Is building a machine ever better than buying a Bamboo Lab if I just want to print every material? I mean, if you're building a machine, you could build it exactly to the specifications you want. You want to build a machine that's fully enclosed with a 500C hot end, you could do that. You want to build a machine that is 150mm of Z, 500mm of Y, and 200mm of X because all you do is print keyboards all day, you could do that too. You want to build a Voron V2 that is 2 meters tall because you're printing surfboards, and you need, this much Y, but this much X, and this much Z, you could do that too. So when you build a printer, you can basically customize whatever you want. But it comes at the cost and complexity issue. So. I ran my Revo Plus Stealth Burner 2209 at the max efficiency for 1 kilogram of PETCF. Now either is broken. That's not good. It just stopped responding. well, reach out to, is it the Revo that's dead or the SP2209? Like, have you replaced one or the other to see which one is actually dead? What is double shear? Double shear is just the stepper motor, the shaft of the stepper motor. Here, let me show you. See, I'm trying to do the giveaway, but you guys keep talking. You keep asking good questions. We keep having fun. Grab a stepper motor. Grab a stepper motor. Okay, so double shear. Okay. So you have your stepper motor. Actually, I could probably just use this one. So see how we have the stepper motor here? Okay. So you have your belts on here. When you tighten your belts, it's pulling the stepper motor, right? It's leaning it's leaning the motor itself over, but can also bend the shaft. Double shear means you have something on top of it with a bearing supporting it. Okay. So you have a printed part, or it could be a machine part, but usually it's on a 3D printer like this, printed part. So you have support at the bottom with the motor. Okay, but the top is also now supported by a printed part. Okay, yeah, that's double shear. You're supporting the shaft on both ends. The bottom with the motor itself, and the top with a bearing. Okay, so it's supported now on both ends. It's mechanically supported on both ends, so you don't worry about it bending over, because these 5mm shafts can bend. And also, you're not putting all that force, because think about it, motors get hot, plastic gets weak when it gets hot. Over enough time, you can actually deform the printed part, and your whole thing does that. Which isn't good, because then your belt alignment goes off, belts start rubbing, extra wear, defects show up in prints. You want everything, yeah. And also, if you do want to compensate, for those that are like, I want to print peak, here's a, if you want to get really fancy, this is a 1000 watt 230 volt heater. So if anyone wants to really print peak and you need 1000 watts at 230 volts, here you go. That's how you plug it in, 2 wires on D-rings. So yeah. Okay, let's do this giveaway, because it is time for giveaway and time for me to make dinner, because I am hungry. If you did not enter for your chance to win the filament, you will have another chance on Friday. Responses. That will vaporize your filament. Yep, it's from a mold. We built a mold for a customer, and the heaters were not hot enough, so we replaced them with 1500 watt heaters. So we had a bunch of 1000s left over, and I just took one home because they were going in the garbage anyways. So it was for a lens mold, I believe. So unfortunately, we can't do the fun, happy fun adventure wheel of names here, or the marble game in the basement. So I have to do wheel of names. Okay. I don't know what this old wheel is, but we're doing this wheel. So I need a number. Oh, wait, we gotta get rid of this one. Okay. Oh, no, that's David. There we go. I need a number between 23 and 26. I need a number between 23 and 26. Because this is the 2026 Rocky Mountain, and the first one was 23. 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, only the ribbit knows. And the winner of the spool of filament from Polymaker is Marcel. That's a common name we've seen in the chat. Congrats, Marcel. You have won yourself a spool of filament from Polymaker. So you will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. No chance for the hat. I know, no chance for the hat. I would have to like run it twice, and that would be kind of weird. So Friday, we'll be in the garage. We'll do the member stream from the garage, or the show me what you printed stream. So don't forget, this Friday, I will do an alert in the Discord tonight to remind everyone, and then also on Thursday. Join the Discord. In the Discord, there is a channel called Show Me What You've Printed, or Show Me What Your Work, or what is it? Look What I Printed. So in the Discord, everyone join the Discord. There is this, oh shit, 1 second here. I keep pulling up the wrong thing. Okay, in the Discord, there's a channel called Look What I Printed. Everyone join the Discord, exclamation marks Discord. Okay. Everyone join the Discord. Post something in here because we're gonna look at them Friday. Okay, last Friday every month, we look at what people have been working on for the month. And then we'll do some other fun community stuff on Friday as well. Hopefully, I think the photo bucket for all the pictures from Rocky Mountain will be out, so maybe we'll go through that as well. And then on Saturday, we will get back to working on the stealth changer. Okay. So that is that. Let me just make sure I got the email here. Send out Marcel his prize. That is the wrong email account. Don't want to send it from my personal email account because that would be doxing myself, and I don't want to dox myself. Also, I think, who is it that wants to send me a printer? We might be getting the new Flash Forge tool changer. They might be sending me that. So if they do, we'll play around with that whenever that shows up. Okay. So Marcel, your prize or your form is on the way. So we're going to call it there. I want to give a huge shout out to Polymaker for the spool filament. We give away this stream and everywhere. Check them out. Link in the video description. Also affiliate down there as well. If you want to help support the channel, purchase some stuff. Some links like the Gamer Subs, use code Canuck, save some money as well. And for those that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. Don't forget, video tomorrow on the channel. First look at the Trident R2 with Steve builds. And also you can see it early if you are a channel supporter or Patreon supporter as well, YouTube member as well. So we're going to call it there. I'm Taylor, Canuck Creator. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Shout out to Robot Overlord for becoming a channel member. And wash your hands, and I will see you in the future. Goodbye. Bye. I gotta go make food. I'm starving. Bye-bye.